percent online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/JOY.
Hi, this is Brian Kilmeade from Fox & Friends. If you checked out my radio show, The Brian Kilmeade Show, listen weekdays at 9 a.m. on NewsTalk 1080. We're talking about the issues that matter most to you. We're giving you the breaking news, talking to the newsmakers you want to hear from. Where does President Trump take the country? Where do the Democrats go from here? We are covering all this in great depth and so much more. The Brian Kilmeade Show, weekdays, 9 a.m. on NewsTalk 1080. Listen to your radio, smart speaker, or on the free Odyssey app.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. Right.
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Hey, shh. Calm down. The show is about to start. Reese on the Radio. Turn it up. Turn it up low. Turn it up loud.
It's like a dream come true.
Turn on your radio. Reese is on the radio.
Yo, let's get it.
Due to the nature of this program, discretion does not exist. It's Reese on the Radio. Right now on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Yeah.
What's going on, scallywags, nutmeggers? Another day, another dollar, 49 cents after taxes. It's Reese on the Radio on WTIC News Talk 1080. Welcome to the program. Hello, holla, pop your collar. To all of you, it is Tuesday afternoon, and we're getting ready to wrap up the day, and I hope you folks had a wonderful day. I'm having a more productive day than I do on other days, probably because I had to gather more news. I had to get back to normal after the assassination and coverage of that. We have to have some degree of normalcy. We've got to get back to the routine that we do here. Not that we're no longer covering the story. We will. Today we have... We have details that are coming up about the charges against Tyler Robinson. We'll get to that if we're allowed to, in the sense of, there's a commercial break, or, of course, if John Silva, award-nominated John Silva, I might add, let's give him some props. If he has some news to detail on that as well, we'll leave that to him. I've got a question of the day. I used to do this when I first got here at WTIC, and I thought I was kind of putting pressure on the whole phone calls thing because I thought that was what was required of me here, but I sort of left it alone. But I do like the question of the day, and I'm going to answer the question of the day. I'm going to put a little spin on it. First, I am going to ask the question of the day, and if you want to call in, later on, maybe in the next hour, I'll allow you to answer the question of the day. But I have the answer to my question. Let me give the question. If you could only fly one airline to go to Mar-a-Lago to see President Donald Trump on a weekend getaway. If you had to fly out of Hartford into Florida to go to Mar-a-Lago, and there was only one airline that went there, how much would you pay for that ticket, a first-class seat even, if the airline only had a 32% of landing? A 32% chance of landing, I should have said. Again, it is one airline. You are flying because of an invitation you got to sit and have dinner with the President of the United States at Mar-a-Lago. You're going to play golf. You're going to eat at probably some of the finest dining establishments there and meet the President, Melania, maybe Don and Eric, whatever. And on the airline you have to take, there is only a 32% chance that you would land safely. How much money would you spend on that ticket? I think it's a reasonable question because today I'm going to tell you how much money I would pay for said ticket. Now, it sounds crazy, but it's a hypothetical. I don't really like hypotheticals, but I think for this particular question and this particular story that I am going to talk about at 4 o'clock, you will understand where I'm coming from. So with that, we move on. Again, question of the day, one airline, 32% of landing, 32% chance of landing, how much would you pay for the airline ticket? By the way, there is no correct answer. You can answer any way you want to. I just want to hear your thoughts. We got to talk about Robert Redford today in Hollywood news. We'll get to that as well. Apparently, everyone is joining in on piling on Chris Murphy in the news media. It's everywhere. There's an article about him in National Review today. Chris Murphy doesn't see you is the article that's out today. I thought that was interesting. We also, don't forget, all week we're giving away tickets to go see Greg Gutfeld at Gutfeld Live 25, featuring special guest Tom Shalhoub on the 21st at 6 p.m. at the Premier Theater at Foxwoods. We'll be giving away those tickets later on today. And, of course, announcing our winner of the Between Rounds, dozen bagels a month for 6 months. But I want to start off today the opening monologue, which is titled Extreme Language Warning from the Left. Does anybody remember on this show, and maybe others, there was an article out of Axios. The headline read, Democrats told to get shot for the anti-Trump resistance. Do you remember that? That article is from July 7th. At town halls in their districts and in one-on-one meetings with constituents and activists, Democrat members of Congress are facing growing thrum of demands to break the rules, fight dirty, and not be afraid to get hurt. Why it matters, Axios writes, House Democrats told Axios they are seeing a growing anger among their base that has, in some cases, morphed into a disregard for American institutions, political traditions, and even the rule of law. This idea that we're going to save every norm and that we're going to play Republicans' game, I don't think that's resonating with voters anymore, said one House Democrat. Another told Axios that a sense of fear and despair and anger among voters puts us in a different position where we can't keep following norms and decorum. Axios spoke to more than 24 House Democrats for this story, many requesting anonymity, and to offer candid insights about their interactions with constituents and activists. For months, Democrat lawmakers have fumed that their base demands to fight harder misunderstood the lack of legislative and investigative power afforded to the minority in Congress. Quote, we've got people who are desperately wanting us to do something. No matter what we say, they want more. This according to Representative Brad Schneider, Democrat out of Illinois, the chair of the center-left Democrat coalition. Liberal voters have angrily accosted Democrats at town halls, in their view, not doing enough to counter President Trump's agenda. In response, Democrats have tried to up the ante, heckling Trump, mounting rogue impeachment attempts, and getting tackled by law enforcement, and even indicting, what? I don't even see, what is that? No. Oh, even indicting in their efforts to scrutinize the president's deportation campaign. The grassroots wants more. Some of them have suggested what we really need to do is be willing to get shot when visiting ICE facilities or federal agencies, a third House Democrat told Axios. Our own base is telling us that what we're doing is not good enough, that there needs to be blood to grab the attention of the press and the public. So that, alongside this poll that I cited yesterday, that now everyone is talking about. It turns out that Rutgers University had a poll that was announced today on Fox News. Truth be told, that piece by Rutgers was out months ago. Yeah, I have proof of that. In a New York Post article, the headline reads, Democrats lit the assassination culture fuse. Now their silence equals violence. This article is from April 8th of this year. And inside that April 8th article, this writer talks about a new report from the Network Contagion Research Institute. It found that more than half of left-leaning Americans say political violence is acceptable, with 55% of them seeing some justification for assassinating Donald J. Trump. Fox News led with that story at 9 a.m. this morning. It's from April. The writing was already there. But let's go one step further. CNN seemed to be echoing that. But before we get to CNN, let's get to the day before yesterday. Destiny, an online blogger, a guy who has a large following, and in some cases, he is compared to Joe Rogan on the left. Well, he is getting pretty much a firestorm of criticism because of this statement.
You need conservatives to be afraid of getting killed when they go to events so that they look to their leadership to turn down the temperature. The issue is right now, they don't feel like there's any fear. Like, I don't know. It's like memes. It's just memes to everybody, I guess. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I don't care. I'm playing video games. Okay, I'm done today. I don't care.
Yeah. They need to be afraid to be killed, Destiny says. Now, when I heard about this guy, I went, I've seen something on him. I know I've seen something on him, something about the Joe Rogan of the left. And sure enough, I was right. Daniel Sullivan of CNN actually featured Destiny on their program, talking about how they can combat whom? Charlie Kirk. Yeah. Here's Daniel Sullivan talking to the aforementioned Destiny about how the left has dropped the ball on competing with Charlie Kirk.
Charlie Kirk's been doing this a long time, more than 10 years. Why has it taken the left so long to catch up and still hasn't caught up?
Republicans vertically are very well integrated when it comes to making sure that they're winning elections, right? There's the people who in 2020, they thought the election was stolen in every state, basically, but they still showed up to vote next time. So something is happening there where they're really big on going out and winning elections. And I think that shows at every single level, to where when people are organizing or when people are creating alternative media networks, whether you're talking Tim Pool, influencing other ones like Joe Rogan, or trying to do things with college kids like Charlie Kirk, they're making these events and they're gathering all these different people for Charlie Kirk as school kids, but the single focus is winning elections. It's incredibly important. And somehow I feel like on the left, I don't know how this happened online. Maybe it's because we tend to be younger or whatever, but somehow the party's messaging apparatus, it feels like it's gotten hijacked from people by people who won't vote for your candidates, which I think is incredibly destructive.
Now, when I saw this guy, Destiny, I went, okay, that's a good point. Maybe you need to get into that space. Maybe you need to influence the candidates that Democrats choose. This guy seems like a reasonable guy, clearly doesn't like Republicans or Charlie Kirk, because in the piece he does say, I think he is a satanic whatever, blah, 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 whatever. It doesn't even matter what he said about Charlie Kirk. But then I saw this.
No, our motto is, when they go low, we go high.
For Destiny, it's a ground game that must reflect the online culture he and millions of young Americans are part of, one that is often characterized by un-PC language, insults, and crude humor, like this tweet Destiny sent poking conservatives by saying the kids who died in the Texas floods were proof that God doesn't exist.
This is the guy they think is the liberal answer to Joe Rogan. That the kids who died in the Texas floods was proof that God doesn't exist. This is the guy that CNN was platforming as the answer to Charlie Kirk, Ben Shapiro, and others who have dominated the space. This is their leader. He went on.
The tweets you sent about the kids in Texas would probably disqualify you or would probably have somebody in the upper levels of the Democratic Party say, okay, we'll never work with this guy again.
Yeah.
Do you regret sending those tweets?
I think they have to get over it. I don't regret them. I love poking the bear on the right. I feel like Republicans are so good at owning the space. Republicans do this thing where they say, comedy's legal again and we can joke about anything. But when they say anything, they really just mean like immigrants and black people, right? Because if you make fun of anything on their side, they lose their minds.
I guess is your point that, always trying to take the high ground is clearly not working for Democrats?
One of the things that conservatives stumbled into accidentally, because I think Donald Trump's an idiot, even politically, but they stumbled into this thing where people started to get confused because of what the right and left looked like. And I think they think that you need an extremist platform in order to win elections. But what you really need, I think, is just extremist messaging. I think that's what you need.
You heard him. You don't need extremist platforms, Destiny says. You need extremist messaging. That sound familiar? Again, back to the Axios. You have to have violence. That's the reason why they won't shy away from it. They can't. Destiny has far more followers than the Democrat Party does. He's got way more popularity than the Democrat Party does. It's the whole Mamdani thing as well. If you think about that, why is it that Kathy Hochul, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and Bernie Sanders are supporting a guy who openly says he wants to, control the means of production? Because that's the direction of the party. There's an article today. I'll read it in a bit. It says poll, capitalism out, socialism in. But this last part, the part that really hurts, is this one. Elizabeth Vargas on News Nation talking to two young men, one a moderate conservative, the other one a liberal.
So I was talking to two young men this weekend. One is a registered Democrat. The other is what he would call an independent or moderate Republican. Neither one of them agreed with very much of what Charlie Kirk said, but they had watched Kirk's videos on campuses for years as Kirk debated students and anyone else who wanted to stand in line for the chance to prove me wrong, as Charlie Kirk put it, and they respected that. They admired his willingness to debate and Kirk's skill at it, even when they didn't always agree with his positions. Now, one of those young men voted for Kamala Harris in the last election. The other did not. But both of them separately told me this weekend they will never vote for a Democrat again. Both said their social media feeds were filled with far-left agitators celebrating Kirk's assassination or saying he somehow deserved to be killed because of the provocative and perhaps even offensive things that Kirk said. These young men know that the Democratic Party leaders have all publicly condemned the killing. They know that these far-left agitators do not represent the Democratic Party writ large. But they found these videos and these posts cheering on a murder so disturbing, so reprehensible, it has turned them off of the Democratic Party altogether. They are not the only ones who feel this way or who are horrified at people making light of murder. People are now losing their jobs for posting such things. Liberals are turning on other liberals who are publicly expressing sympathy for Kirk.
The party's over. It just is. It wasn't like I didn't tell you. I told you. We'll be back. I've got more on this when we return. Stand by. It's Reese on the Radio on WTIC News Talk 1080.
I've been playing sports all my life. Little football, basketball, pickleball, cross training, mud events, Spartan races and things like that.
For Dr. Eric Williams, a successful chiropractor, staying active means everything. So when nagging knee pain slowed him down, he didn't want drugs or invasive surgery. He found a natural way to get lasting relief. QC Kinetics Cellular Therapies.
We're using my body's natural abilities to get better. And that's huge. In time, that's going to be the way of the future. Using your own body's ability to heal. Now I can play day to day and not have that severe pain.
Now he's back out there doing what he loves, thanks to QC Kinetics.
Life is good. You're not going to slow me down.
Leave the pain behind and get moving. Book your free consultation today with QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 860-440-PAIN. That's 860-440-PAIN. 860-440-PAIN.
Suicide is something that affects all of us, and we can all play a part in saving lives. Make a difference in your community by walking out of the darkness with us on Saturday, September 27th at Duncan Park in Hartford. Help spread awareness and understanding. Send the message that help is available and raise funds for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. Register today at afsp.org/CT Capital Area. And then we'll see you at Duncan Park on September 27th. WTIC News Talk 1080 is a proud supporter of the American Federation for Suicide Prevention Out of the Darkness Walk.
And now, a WTIC news update.
It's 2:30, Hartford temperature 74 degrees. Good afternoon. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. Mixed sun and clouds for this Tuesday. We'll make a run at 80. Forecast details coming up in Utah. Authorities have just filed formal charges against Tyler Robinson.
A 22-year-old accused of shooting and killing Charlie Kirk last week while the conservative activist was speaking at Utah Valley University. He is charged with aggravated murder and weapon and obstruction offenses. Utah County Attorney Jeff Gray.
Count 1, aggravated murder, a capital offense for intentionally or knowingly causing the death of Charlie Kirk under circumstances that created a great risk of death to others. Count 2, felony discharge of a firearm causing serious bodily injury, a first-degree felony.
Gray says he is seeking the death penalty, saying he has made it independently as his decision as county attorney based on the evidence and the nature of the crime. Tyler Robinson is set to make his first court appearance later today. CBS News Special Report. I'm Matt Piper.
ICE agents now banned from wearing masks inside Connecticut courthouses. The action coming as agents have been staking out courts and arresting people for showing up for scheduled hearings here in Connecticut.
I'm going to go there.
Waterbury police have a
because
homicide investigation on their hands. Investigators say a man was shot Monday night in the area of Charles and 3rd Streets. Victim was pronounced dead at the scene. There's no word yet on suspects. And terrorism charges have been dropped against the man accused of shooting and killing an insurance executive in Manhattan last year. Luigi Mangione is accused of killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. The judge in a hearing, though, said while Mangione will face the murder rap, there was insufficient evidence that he intended to influence or affect government policy. WTIC News Time, 2:32. Bob Cox with the forecast.
Temperatures this afternoon averaging about 75 to 80 under a mix of clouds and sun. An east wind at about 10 miles per hour. Tonight, partly to mostly cloudy. A few towns may see a shower during the night. Others will not. Lows in the 50s. Clouds and probably a little sun on Wednesday. There will be a couple of scattered showers in the state during the day tomorrow, although many parts of the day are dry. Highs in the 70s, and the chance for a shower still exists tomorrow night. Thursday looks partly sunny, the high around 80. Mostly sunny Friday, 75 to 80. And it should be pretty sunny over the weekend. Temperatures near 70 Saturday, 70 to 75 on Sunday. I'm meteorologist Bob Cox in the WTIC Weather Center.
Checking traffic, still a crash in Berlin on Route 9, southbound between exits 33 and 32. It's a car down the embankment there, and the right lane is closed. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort, offering small ship experiences with a shore excursion included in every port and programs designed for cultural enrichment. Discover more at Viking.com. That's Viking.com.
Attention, have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-207-4545. That's 800-207-4545. Once again, that's 800-207-4545.
Hi, I'm Tom Connors. Went to Mark Patrick's hypnosis seminar February 6, 2019. Nothing worked before. Left there and never smoked again. Amazing. Easy, affordable, and guaranteed. A year later, with my wife Michelle, attended Mark Patrick's weight loss seminar. She lost 18 pounds, and I lost 43 in 8 weeks.
It's true. He smoked 2 packs a day, and nothing worked until Mark Patrick Hypnosis. Now we're losing weight together, eating healthy, full on half the food, crazy. Enjoying exercising. Who would have believed Mark Patrick Hypnosis really works?
It's amazing. I can breathe again. My blood pressure went down, and I've got so much energy.
So much energy.
And look great.
Join Mark Patrick Seminar's Early Bird Special, only $49.99. Hypnosis designed to destroy unwanted cravings. That's right. Seminars Thursday, September 18th, Hilton Garden in Hartford North, Bradley International Airport in Windsor. Weight Loss Seminar 5:30. Stop Smoking Seminar 8 p.m. Or Saturday, September 20th, Holiday Inn Express, Southington. Weight Loss Seminar 11 a.m. Stop Smoking Seminar 2 p.m. Register markpatrickseminars.com.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
Well, vacation is over, school is back in session, and WTIC News Talk 1080 is part of your daily routine with news, weather, and traffic updates, plus talk shows to keep you informed and entertained. It's back to the grind, but we'll help you get through it. WTIC News Talk 1080, always on your radio and on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
University of Maryland Global Campus offers more than 55 flexible online certificates that provide short-term credentials and real-world skills you can use immediately. With a range of affordable undergraduate and graduate certificates in high-demand fields like business, AI, cybersecurity, data analytics, and healthcare, you can earn credentials quickly to help advance your career. Learn more at umgc.edu. That's umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
This is Dale for Northeast Men's Health, where we've successfully treated thousands of men for low testosterone and helped them feel like their old selves again. Please take a moment and listen to how we help Kurt.
You're supposed to be on fire as a person. You're supposed to want to get things done. I started having anxiety out of the blue, low libido, brain fog, not feeling driven. Literally had to push myself every day to get up and get things done. I was driving and I heard Northeast Men's Health on the radio, and the first consult seemed reasonable. So I decided to give it a call and made an appointment. They found that I had low T, and after that, it was like a light switch got turned on. I've been a patient at Northeast Men's Health for about 9 months now. Everything's gotten a lot better in my life. Energy, feeling, just work, a whole lot better. Even my kids notice. They're like, Daddy's got energy, Daddy's ready to go. If you don't feel like that, I would suggest calling Northeast Men's Health.
Thanks, Kurt. It's true. Low T therapy will likely change your life. Your initial appointment is only $99 with results in minutes. And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call today, 800-930-5956, or go to northeastmenshealth.com.
Hi.
1 minute.
FullSaleUSA.com and
Yeah,
I buy houses
they got
cash.
all the details
If
on
you
this
own a
kid.
house and want to sell it fast at a fair
they got
price,
a treasure
call me
trove
at
of evidence on this kid.
203-896.
On which kid?
The shooter.
00.
Oh, okay.
Goes in as little as 7 days. I buy houses in any condition,
he laid the
any
whole
price
thing out
range,
to
and
his
more
lover.
importantly, anywhere in Connecticut. I'm a
Oh, wow.
Hell yeah.
His lover was a female?
I want to
Transgender.
buy more.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Inherited houses, divorce houses, behind in payment houses. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Do you own a house that is trash and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, because I love buying junk houses.
You think he was trying to headshot him and just missed? Hit him in the neck?
Houses and even
I think so,
foreclosure
without
houses.
a doubt.
If you
Without
own
a
a
doubt.
house and want to
I
sell
mean,
it fast,
200
call me
yards,
at
the kid knows how to shoot.
203-896-4000.
I'm sure he can hit the target.
That's
Just not
Yeah.
precise like that.
Yeah, not precise. That's a difficult shot.
4000.
Listen to WTIC News Talk 1080 on the free Odyssey app. Download and like WTIC today for alerts on special programming.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I know that you are probably, like, if you heard the alert that the district attorney, Jeff Gray, was giving details to the assassination of Charlie Kirk and the details that apply to it, you know what, some of the things that I'm going to say. But there's only one thing that really struck a chord with me in all of this. And I'll get the audio when necessary, and we'll play it for some of you who can't get to it. So we'll do that in the sort of the scope of the entire show. I will get it to you. If it's not the next hour, it'll be the next hour, but I will get those details. So if you haven't been paying attention, and I am the first to tell you this, the district attorney reads out the text exchanges between Tyler Robinson and his girlfriend, boyfriend, lover, whatever. Okay, the roommate he referred to him as in the piece. These exchanges happen after. He reads them after Charlie Kirk is killed. Shot at least. And in those exchanges, Tyler Robinson lays out to the roommate. Let's just use that, so we don't have to go through all that complications. Lays out to the roommate what he has done. The roommate isn't sure that it's him. Did you do this? I thought they caught the guy. And he goes, no, that was just some other crazy guy. And they grabbed another person. They said, fit my description. But yes, I did it. The roommate asks why. This is key.
I was just getting sick and tired of him, paraphrasing. And that kind of hate cannot be negotiated with. And let's listen to those words and think about them. That's what Tyler thought of Charlie Kirk, was that his kind of hate could not be negotiated with. All of you right now, and I know who you are, you're saying to yourself, well, that's exactly what Charlie Kirk was doing. Having the conversation was a negotiation. That was the premise of Prove Me Wrong. It was a negotiation of ideas. You coming to me going to you, having it out. That's what it was. But he said he had gotten sick and tired of it, and he had planned it within a week. And he shot Charlie Kirk with his grandpa's gun. So people were asking the question, how did he get the money if he doesn't have a job, blah, blah, blah. Well, there you know. Then now you know. He stole his grandpa's, and this is all in his text exchange. He literally confesses everything in that exchange. Lays the whole thing out. So, by the way, if there are any doubters out there, all you people screaming and hollering about groypers, dunzo. Remember, he was supposed to be, he wasn't far right enough, they told us. It's one of yours, they told us. And says, I only worry about you, my love, he says to the roommates, my love. That kind of hate cannot be tolerated. Can't be negotiated with. Isn't that? Again, it harkens me back to Occupy Wall Street and that older man, no more than 5'2", looking up at me, knowing damn well at 235 pounds, I could have crushed him. Had it been Harlem, Brooklyn, South Central LA, I'd have looked at him and I'm just like, what you talking about, boy? But looked at me and said, we can't let him be here talking like this. That's what he said to me. That kind of hatred cannot be negotiated with. Who is that the language of? Folks, stop staring. You're looking at me and saying, go away. Anybody notice Tim isn't around? Where's Tim? Where are you at, Timmy? Where, what happened? Are you gathering your thoughts? I want you to understand that when we talk about hate, this conversation that we're having about hateful speech, what people aren't realizing in all of this, and I don't know it's because, it's, one side or my side versus your side or tribalism or whatever. I don't know what it is. But I look at this in a very practical way. Maybe it's the simpleton in me, as my wife might say. Charlie Kirk went on tour on college campuses and debated people on his beliefs. People who did not like what he had to say, many of them cursing him out, calling him names, calling him a fascist, calling him a racist. And he never once flinched. He just asked, tell me what I said that was racist. Because if it was, he would either change his tune, or if he was led to be, if it turned out to be true that what he said was racist and it could be determined as such, I'm sure he would have moderated. But no one could give him anything. They just kept repeating it. You're a racist. You're a bigot. You're a misogynist. Well, tell me what it is that I said it was. You know what you're talking about. No, I need you to tell me so that I can adjust. Couldn't do it. But him being the hater used as a weapon his speech. Now, sure, he may have slapped around a few egos, but everybody went home. What a lot of you
who are running around talking about his hateful rhetoric are failing to recognize is that Tyler Robinson's hate for Charlie Kirk ended with a bullet. Someone is dead. You can't justify Tyler Robinson's hate as a measure of Charlie Kirk's. You can't. There is no comparison. This is the reason why you're shaking in your boots whenever, anytime anyone asks you, did he deserve to die? I never said that. It's not what I asked. I didn't say, would you kill him? I didn't say, would you fire that gun? I asked you, if what he said was so hatred, did it deserve death? The simple answer is no. But when you have difficulty answering that question, when you deflect, when you start spinning around, being a contortionist, it already reveals the answer we know. We all know it. And that's why I tell you people, please stop getting into these deep, stupid, rooted arguments with these people about what they think about what Charlie Kirk says. It's a simple yes or no. Did he deserve to die? And the answer should be no. That's it, emphatically. No. It shouldn't. But when somebody, I didn't say that. Don't accuse me. Nobody accused you. It's a question. No, he did not. And you know he didn't. And there was no justification for what Tyler did. And now that you understand what was in his text, his hatred cannot be negotiated with. His reasoning was it had to be killed. He is your representative. People on the left, he is a representation of hatred that cannot be negotiated. Words that are being spewed that you don't like must be responded to with violence, because we have the data here. Constituents of Democrats who are openly saying that somebody's got to get shot for their beliefs. They have to resist Donald Trump to so much that there must be violence. There must be bloodshed. This is the act of somebody who is losing and desperate. This is why I said what I said about Chris Murphy yesterday. The constant flailing about, not understanding about reading the room, understanding that people are trying to gather their thoughts to find out what we're going to do in the future. Maybe tone it down a little bit. This guy cannot relent because he has other ambitions. He doesn't give a damn about you, doesn't give a damn about the temperature, doesn't give a damn about your grieving. I've got to get elected. I must beat Donald Trump. He's a bigger threat than all of this. He is the boogeyman. It's obsession, I tell you. And these people need help. That's what they need. It ain't up for us. It's not up to us to give it to them, though. Don't ask me for it. I know who you are and I understand. Again, I know who you are and I understand. The only person here who accepts you for who you are. We'll take a break. We'll be back. More news, more views. We'll get to more of this. I've got other audio to get to when we return. Stand by. It's Reese on the Radio.
The following is a paid commercial advertisement.
From the Wall Street Sweeper Money Desk, we're with Russ Hackman, president of Hackman Wealth Partners. And Russ, it's all about retirement planning with you, but why worry about taxes in retirement? I mean, don't we all go down to a lower tax rate?
It is a common misunderstanding that your tax rates are going to go down in retirement. In fact, the government is coming to tax your 401k and IRA money. And if you look at the schedule of what may happen to you, in many cases, people have escalating taxes in retirement. You want to have a tax plan in place to make sure that that doesn't happen to you.
For a comprehensive review, no cost, no obligation, 860-321-6800. 860-321-6800. 860-321-6800.
Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Capital Management, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Discussion of safe and secure products and guaranteed income streams refer only to fixed insurance products and are subject to the claims paying ability of the insurance company.
The Wall Street Sweeper with Russ Hackman, Sunday mornings at 9:30 on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Man, I love seeing the old gang at these reunions. Did you see Brian? He's in better shape than he was 25 years ago. How is that even possible?
Yep, I ran into him a few weeks ago and had to ask. He told me he started taking Nugenix Total T.
The testosterone booster?
Yeah.
Felony. The state is further alleging defendant with count 3 of a violent notice of seeking the death penalty.
Nugenix Total T, I feel like my old self again. Stronger, leaner, and my energy is way up. My wife even noticed a difference in the bedroom. They're giving out complimentary bottles right now. Just send them a text.
Text HEFTY to 321-321 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster. Text now and you'll also get a free bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our most powerful fat incinerator. That's HEFTY to 321-321.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Do you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is letting everyone know about great debt relief options now available to help people with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of your credit card debt. Get a free debt relief consultation when you call 800-201-7676, 800-201-7676, 800-201-7676.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans for auto pay and e-billing, see site for additional facts.
It's Reese on the Radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
Jason says, did I hear that right, that the state is going for death? Yes, the death penalty will be pursued in the Tyler Robinson's case for murder against Charlie Kirk. That is indeed true. I'm trying to gather the audio now. Of course, they're doing like panel discussions over on Fox News as we're watching all of this unfold. I knew the details were going to be really, really scary. It also turns out from what we're finding in the investigation that it was Tyler's mom who identified him immediately in the FBI photo when it was released. Also, which was featured in that in the prosecutor Jeffrey Gray's announcement today was talking about how Tyler instructed his roommate to look underneath the keyboard where the note was that I have an opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk and I'm going to take it. And that was in the back and forth exchange. He even says in the text exchange going back and forth with the roommate that his father, Tyler's father, had become ultra MAGA. And, you know, you had all of these people who kept insisting that because his parents were MAGA, he must be MAGA. Even though we know that one of the biggest problems, biggest issues we had with politics from back in 2009, 10, 11 was an Obama administration and even the president himself talking every year during Christmas about you, young people, confronting your MAGA or, well, it wasn't MAGA then, but conservative parents who were not on board. And of course, in 2015, during the Donald Trump administration, or at least before it, during his campaign, we had article after article and story after story about older parents with children who had kids not coming to Thanksgiving or to Christmas because they were voting for Donald Trump. There was a cultural divide between parents and children. So this nightmare that we're witnessing in real time cannot be settled with the it's on both sides. It ain't as simple as that. It just isn't. And deep down, people know that it is. I posted a video. If you go to my X account, just go to reasoontheradio.com, you'll find my X account. I posted this video last night. And it is conditional accountability. That's what this is. That's what we're witnessing in the news media. It's accountability with conditions. Yeah, we do it, but the other side does too. And I equate it to show you how much of a child some of these people are. I always equate it to that thing. And as much as people kind of snicker at me when I bring it up, you know it makes sense. So stop denying it. These people are children. And when they get their hand caught in a cookie jar and they turn around and they say, well, the Republicans did it too. That's the conditional accountability. Yeah, you caught me red-handed, but look over there. And it doesn't make sense, but it's where we are. It just is. So while everybody else is doing the spin, leaping over each other, trying to fight back, is because they know, just as Elizabeth Vargas said there in that piece I played earlier, people are rejecting the Democrat Party. People are running away from it in droves. They can't justify it just as normal people. I know people think that the world's gone crazy, but not everybody. The numbers don't suggest it. Sure, are there a large number of people? Yeah, it's a considerable amount of people, but it ain't all of them. And it is not something, and this is another thing that I believe. I believe that there is something innate in us as Americans, be it cultural, be it whatever. But I think that there is something innate in Americans, because of the society that we live in, that makes us who we are. And that is ownership and accomplishment, winning, achieving, working hard, seeing the results on the other side, risk, reward. These things are not bad. As much as people try to indoctrinate young children, they try to get them really, really early to think that that's the way the world works. But the one thing that they cannot stop is that these children are going to go out into the world and they're going to meet others who think differently. They're going to be confronted with them. And they're going to go, what's this thing that you do? Work? Yes, it's so I can build a better life for my children. Well, I was never taught that. I was taught that everybody should give you stuff. No, this is much more satisfying because my hard work gives me all of this. Yeah, but I don't have all of that. How do I get all of that? Well, let me show you. And they eventually get out of that. No one stays. You know the old adage. Remember this one. I'll never forget it. If you're in your 20s and you're not a liberal, you have no heart. If you're in your 40s and you're not a conservative, you have no brain. Let's get to the WTIC newsroom with John Silva. We'll be back. It's Reese on the Radio on WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC is celebrating 100 years on the air and 100 years of serving Connecticut. This is WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford, an Odyssey station.
3 o'clock, Hartford temperature 76 degrees. It's a mix of clouds and sun for our Tuesday. All the forecast details coming up. The suspect in Charlie Kirk's killing is in court virtually this afternoon. In the meantime, prosecutors have laid out charges against 22-year-old Tyler Robinson.
Prosecutors in Utah will seek the death penalty in the killing of Charlie Kirk.
I am filing a notice of intent to seek the death penalty. I do not
The family
take this
friend
decision
met with
lightly.
Robinson and his parents and convinced Robinson to turn himself in. The family friend spoke
The
to
state is
police and
further
reported
alleging
telling Robinson
aggravating
that it would be
factors
best if he
on
brought
counts
all
1 and
evidence
2
with him to the
because the
sheriff's
defendant
office
is
to
believed
avoid.
believed to
Police
have targeted Charlie
interviewed
Kirk
Robinson's roommate
based on Charlie Kirk's political
on September
expression
10th,
and did so
2025.
knowing that children were present and would witness the homicide.
Gray called Kirk's murder an American tragedy. He says Robinson's DNA was found on the trigger of the gun used to kill Kirk. The conservative activist was gunned down less than a week ago as he spoke with college students last Wednesday and died soon after. Robinson will make his first court appearance virtually this afternoon. CBS News Special Report. I'm Matt Piper.
In this era of immigration stakeouts outside courtrooms, Connecticut Chief Justice
The
Raheem
roommate
Mullins has
received a text message from Robinson which said about the shooting, and he did provide those messages to police.
New administration of justice requires that courthouse security be protected.
So the judicial branch is issuing new rules when it comes to ICE agents at courthouses, no warrantless arrests, and, according to Governor Lamont,
no masks in the courthouse. It's intimidating. We want to be able to identify people are there so that people are safe and we know who's in the courthouse.
Lamont says there have been seizures in Connecticut as ICE agents stake out courthouses nationwide. Advocates say that is suppressing court attendance. Republican State Rep Craig Fishbein says it's the new rules that make the public less safe. Dave Maker, WTIC 1080 News.
Police in Waterbury investigating a fatal shooting just before 8 Monday night. Officers responded to a report of shots fired outside 94 Charles Street. Victim, a male, found suffering from a gunshot wound. He died at the scene. Officers have not said if they have any suspects in mind or a motive. Anyone with any information being asked to get in touch with the Waterbury PD. It was a day off for students at Darien High School today after a threat was posted. According to the school system, that threat originated from Arkansas, they say, and was later deemed non-credible from police. All of the athletics at Darien High are taking place today. Members of Congress have questioned FBI Director Kash Patel about the Epstein files.
Patel praised the Trump administration.
This administration, at the direction of President Trump, has done more to turn over all the credible information we are legally able to do so.
And placed blame on the original federal probe for its mistakes.
I'm here to testify that the original sin in the Epstein case was the way it was initially brought.
Democratic Senator Dick Durbin asked Patel if he directed more than 1,000 agents to review the file and
flag any records in which President Trump was named.
Patel said that reporting is baseless. Stacey Lynn, CBS News, Washington.
And former UConn great and Dallas Wings star Paige Beckers, runaway choice for WNBA Rookie of the Year after one of the best debut seasons in league history. Beckers received 70 of 72 votes from sports writers and broadcasters in balloting announced by the league today. The other two went to Mystics guard Sonia Citron. It was a whirlwind year for Beckers. In a week, last spring, went from leading UConn to its 12th national championship to being drafted number 1 overall by Dallas. WTIC news time is 3:04. Checking traffic from the WTIC 24-hour traffic network. Still working to clear that earlier problem in Berlin. Had a car go down an embankment along Route 9 on the southbound side between exits 33 and 32. That is in the right lane. And in Mansfield, Route 32 remains closed at Cider Mill and Stearns Roads. Earlier crash out that way, causing that closure. Bob Cox is the WTIC Weather Center forecast.
Temperatures this afternoon averaging about 75 to 80 under a mix of clouds and sun. An east wind at about 10 miles per hour. Tonight, partly to mostly cloudy. A few towns may see a shower during the night. Others will not. Lows in the 50s. Clouds and probably a little sun on Wednesday. There will be a couple of scattered showers in the state during the day tomorrow, although many parts of the day are dry. Highs in the 70s, and the chance for a shower still exists tomorrow night. Thursday looks partly sunny, the high around 80. Mostly sunny Friday, 75 to 80. And it should be pretty sunny over the weekend. Temperatures near 70 Saturday, 70 to 75 on Sunday. I'm meteorologist Bob Cox in the WTIC Weather Center.
Dow's down 95 points. NASDAQ's up 11. S&P is down a fraction. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Comcast Business High Five Hotline. What's the state of your excitement?
I signed my business up for the 5-year price lock guarantee, and I can't stop high-fiving people. High five!
Okay, deep breath.
High
You're in a good place. You signed your business up for 5 years of gig speed internet and advanced security, all on our ultra-reliable network.
Gig speeds and advanced security? I'm so stoked.
Yep, and you get it at a great rate that's locked in for 5 years.
Woo!
The high five is just your body's way of saying, I'm winning.
So this is natural.
High-fiving everyone you see in a state of business savings enthusiasm? Totally natural.
Sweet. Thank you. Thank you. High five, everybody. High five.
The Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee is back, but only for a limited time, so sign your business up today.
High five.
Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 9/21/25 for new customers with qualifying bundle. Current customers may be eligible depending on services and area. Guaranteed rate applies to monthly service charge, excluding taxes and fees. Other restrictions apply.
If you missed Odyssey's I'm Listening live, you can listen to it anytime at Odyssey.com. Just search I'm Listening under podcasts. This 1-hour broadcast event features some of the biggest names in music and sports and insight from some of the most respected mental health professionals. Spreading awareness about mental health and the message that talk saves lives, you can also hear the 1-hour WTIC's Mental Wellness at WTIC.com. Coverage of Odyssey's I'm Listening is sponsored locally by the Connecticut Prevention Network.
Mint is still $15 a premium wireless. And if you haven't
What's
made
up?
the switch yet, here are 15 reasons why you should. 1, it's $15 a month. 2, seriously, it's $15 a month. 3, no big contracts. 4, I use it. 5, my mom uses it. Are you playing me off? That's what's happening, right? Okay.
Visit mintmobile.com/radio. Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, $15 per month equivalent required. New customer offer first 3 months only. Then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
Here's the tale of the daily med fill. Same old pharmacy, same old bill. But those prices kept rising higher still.
Till the savings wrangler rode in. Cool as can be. Tap Good RX. Saving massively.
No plan? Don't matter none. Up to 80% off.
Discounts hitting harder than Ma's chili. Dang. That one little app does all the rest.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
Check Good RX. Good RX is not insurance.
Reese on the radio, making sense of the news. Yeah, even when it makes no sense at all. Now on WTIC News Talk 1080.
All right, normally I would do headlines here, but I think I captured the audio of the district attorney in the case against Tyler Robinson. I think this is right.
On September 10th, 2025, the roommate received a text message from Robinson which said, "Drop what you're doing. Look under my keyboard." The roommate looked under the keyboard and found a note that stated, quote, "I had the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk, and I'm going to take it." Police found a photograph of this note. The following text exchange, then took place. After reading the note, the roommate responded, "What? You're joking, right?" Robinson, "I am still okay, my love, but I'm stuck in Orem for a little while longer yet. Shouldn't be long until I can come home, but I gotta grab my rifle still. To be honest, I had hoped to keep this secret till I died of old age. I am sorry to involve you." Roommate, "You weren't the one who did it, right?" Robinson, I am. I'm sorry." Roommate, "I thought they caught the person." Robinson, "No, they grabbed some crazy old dude, then interrogated someone in similar clothing. I had planned to grab my rifle from my drop point shortly after, but most of that side of town got locked down. It's quiet, almost enough to get out, but there's one vehicle lingering." Roommate, "Why?" Robinson, "Why did I do it?" Roommate, "Yeah." Robinson, "I had enough of his hatred. Some hate can't be negotiated out. If I am able to grab my rifle unseen, I will have left no evidence."
That's pretty much it. Then it goes on to a whole bunch of stuff about the grandfather's gun and everything else. So, and I know that at this point, it becomes the whole back and forth with arguing with family members and people on the left and people on the right. But I was having a conversation earlier this morning, and I can say it. I was talking to Janine. And, you know, I totally get where she's coming from. And I understand others who are like that too. They're not very, like, there are people who are not like all day, every day politically. You know, they're not. They're just regular folks just trying to make ends meet, taking care of their families. And I know some people who kind of look at all of this and they go, what do you mean you're not involved in all of this? Trust me, they are not. They're not. They're just average folks. And they've got other things to do. You know, they've got other problems to deal with. You have no idea the stuff that people have to deal with. And when I talk to them all the time. Sometimes my wife will tell them, oh, you know, he does radio. And I go, please stop doing that. Just, I want people to have peace. My world is chaos. It is. I know it is. But in that chaos, I try to get people to just chill, think. And it's difficult at times. Because I've got one job that I have to do is to inform you. Another job I have to do is, in some ways, be a political activist. I am. I'm politically active. And I am politically active for my side. I don't lie or fuss about it. And I ain't ashamed either. I will never lie to you. But, that being said, what I am trying to do is to tell people to get the hell out of your hysteria. That used to be the case. I don't want you to be a happy warrior either. I just want you to think. Because so many people, the news comes at you so fast, and so many people wish to react to it in real time, thinking that if I don't react to it now, I'm going to, one, either miss my opportunity, or it's going to take advantage of me. Chill. That's not how the world works. The news media has a job, and that's filling up space. And also, the news media has a job as to turning it up to 11. It's never as simple as just, I'll read stories all day, and I'll go, why is that headline so inflammatory? Then when I read the article, I'm bored to tears. Because they have a product to sell. It's almost like those infomercials when they tell you, this product works 95% faster than the other one. The truth be told, it works just as good as the other one. That's news. Is your dishwasher killing you? News at 11. If it were that important, it'd be news right now. They've got a job to do. They're going to sell it. So don't get so animated, exercised about those things. When you see these other folks screaming and hollering about Charlie Kirk and poking fun at him, making ominous comments about his family and his children, for crying out loud, remember who you are. And you have to ask yourself, who are you? Now, if truth be told, you're the type of person that just wants to take up arms, and I mean that figuratively and literally, because some of you out there are like that. If that's the person that you are, I got nothing for you. You are that person. I'd love you to calm down, chill out, and take a beat and join the rest of us in normal land. But you're not going to change if that's who you are. And in many ways, perhaps you are no better or no different than the other side. But for those of you who get very animated and sort of injected with hate because it's coming from the other side, and some of you are saying, that's it, I've had enough. Have you? This isn't new. We're aggravated every week. Every week we're aggravated. Every week something new comes along. And then 2, 3 weeks later, maybe even a month later, we're on to the other thing. Don't believe me? Epstein, anyone? How about Tesla vehicles? Have we moved on? I haven't talked about DQuat in weeks, and I have new news. But my point is that you are jumping at the opportunity to be agitated. You don't need to be. As I said and I showed in the Elizabeth Vargas piece, it all comes out in the wash. those people who are doing the things that they are doing, cheering, celebrating, desecrating, average folks are not attracted to that. That's not a come hither maneuver. No one wants to be a part of that. People see that as ugly. And that is something inherent. Ugliness is inherent. We can identify it. It's like, that's funny, but not something I want to be a part of. I get how cruel it is. I get you're doing it for shock value, but I don't know if I want to be a part of that or be associated with that. I damn sure don't want my mom to think I'm that person. And what do? You act accordingly. Some of you are civilized. Others, not so much. But the uncivilized people never win. The polling data and just sentiment all around. Most people say, yeah, I don't like that. I don't think I even want to be associated with that. And when you're losing, you're desperate. And when you're desperate, you'll do anything. And when you'll do anything, here's what you see. Tyler Robinson was desperate. Charlie Kirk's words hurt him, angered him, like it does Tim, like it does Bob and Don. Words hurt them. These words affect them in a way not because they're weak, not because they're sheltered, not because they're thin-skinned. It was because action has never been a factor. That actually accomplishing things, working hard, that may be a little bit of what they do, but when you can allow words to hurt you, when you can allow words to make you angry, it says more about the person receiving the words than it is about the person who used them. If you're in a relationship, I want to use that relationship as sort of a understanding of all of this. My ex-wife, Mary, used to say evil things to me in the middle of an argument. You've got a little thingy. She'd say that in an argument, and I would look at her and I would laugh. And then when all the dust settled and we'd be in a conversation, I remember the first time she asked me, she goes, I said all of those foul things to you. Why did you just laugh at me? And I went, well, if I had been angry about it, wouldn't I have been conceding that those things were true? Like, weren't you saying them because you wanted to get a rise out of me? Like you wanted me to be somewhat intimidated or affected or harmed by it? Like by saying it, I partially believe or I have a complex about it already, and that's why I would have reacted. I would have been angry and shouted more, but I laughed because I thought the statement, even though it was out of anger, I thought it was ridiculous. I mean, I knew it was ridiculous, so I ignored it. And she goes, how do you do that? And I said, simple. I don't let you have control over me. Now, to go deeper than that was another argument that I had with her, and she kept using this line. And if you've been in an argument with your significant other, be it boy, girl, whatever, if you've heard this before, you know it. I don't want to get angry, but you make me crazy sometimes. You make me yell at you. And I would always respond to Mary by going, I make you angry? Yeah, you do. You make me angry. So I have control over you? I'm not saying that. Well, that's what that means. If I make you angry, that means I have the control over your emotions. That's what that is. She had to rethink it. She had to understand that she controls her emotions. Her reaction is key. No one can make you do anything. And if that's the case, why can't I make you be more like me? If it's so easy, why is it the only thing that I can get out of you? The only thing I can influence from you is the bad stuff. What about when I'm funny and I'm kind and I'm generous? Why don't you ever say, oh, you know what? You make me want to donate money. You make me want to give blood at the blood bank. You make me want to give more money to the church. Why don't you ever want to do those things? Why am I only influencing you on the bad things? Because indeed, it's you. It's not me. Never has been. And that's when you hear these people, when they get all upset. Now, I can totally respond to the idea. It's like, well, Reese, how do you make your money in this business if people aren't responding to what's going on? Sure, they're responding to what's going on, but don't complain. Have a conversation. Share ideas. That's what this medium is for. Oh, it used to be. When it first started, that's all it was about. People getting on talk radio and complaining. Did you hear what the congressman said? Yeah, I know. It's my job to expose what he said. But what I want to expose when I talk about Chris Murphy is the obvious. Has anybody checked in on him? Has anybody bothered to ask Chris Murphy if he's having a mental breakdown? Why not? The case that I laid out for guys like him yesterday is important, right? Isn't that the biggest problem we're having today in our political discourse? Is that we are breeding people like Tyler Robinson? Because people are affected by words. Chris Murphy, his entire campaign, his entire existence is about things that Donald Trump is saying. And he's calling people to arms behind it, talking about breaking rules. He's the one following this Axios article to the T. I don't want to have an argument about complaining about what Chris Murphy says. I want to ask the question, has anyone checked up on him? Do senators have a psychiatrist that they wish to visit or can visit time and time again? Now, I know none of these folks, nobody in the media is going to ask him that. What are they going to do? Did you hear what Chris Murphy said yesterday? Here, Chris Murphy again, going after the President of the United States. With all the other stuff happening around us, not one person thought, hey, Chris, you okay? I asked. Wasn't I the person who said the first video that he did, one of the first videos he did, he was in that empty kitchen? Was I the one that said, I've been there. I've been divorced. I know what it's like to live in an empty house when the family has left me. What was it that I said then? Again, always consistent, Reese on the radio. Hey, anybody checking in on him? Where are his friends? Has anybody seen Chris Murphy out having a beer? He's the only person that I've seen in Congress without any friends. Does he have any? I know there's some people who say that they're friends of his, but I never see them hanging out with him. And if his friend is Max Frost, he needs professional help yesterday. I'm just saying. When we come back, we'll get some headlines. We'll take your phone calls, 860-522-WTIC. We're going to keep it on the subject of Connecticut news. I've got plenty coming up. Don't forget, also, I've got an opportunity to see Greg Gutfeld live at Foxwoods. We're going to give that away today. Hollywood news, we're going to talk about Robert Redford and a great story about Robert Redford's legacy. I know he was an environmentalist. I know he was on the left and all that good stuff, but he's got a great story as a Hollywood actor, and I want to pay him his respects. He passed away this morning at the age of 89. We'll talk about that. But like I said, Greg Gutfeld Live 25 is going to be at the Premier Theater at Foxwoods. We'll give that away in a little bit, so stand by for that. Also, the stupidest thing I read today, which involves Connecticut Deep. If you haven't heard this story, just this, let me tell you something. I can't even give it away. But I want to tease it by saying this, okay? When Connecticut Deep can't go outside, that's a problem. When Connecticut Deep is too lazy to go outside, that's a problem. And we'll explain that as well. Also, 4 o'clock, I've got a great story that I want to get into in my question of the day. You can call up and you can give me your answer. If you could only take one airline from Hartford to Florida to go visit the president in Mar-a-Lago for the weekend, How much would you pay for that one airline, for that ticket to fly from Hartford to Florida, if you knew that the airline only had a 32% chance of landing safely? How much money would you spend? Again, all answers are acceptable. However you want to answer it, but I will give you that answer at about 4:05, 4:06 today. Again, just joining us. You're taking one airline, there's only one, out of Hartford, going into Mar-a-Lago to spend a weekend in Mar-a-Lago to visit with the President of the United States. How much money would you spend on that airline's ticket if you knew that the airline only had a 32% chance of landing safely? Trust me, it sounds crazy, but it's important. It's an important question. So stick around for that. We'll get to it in a little bit. All right, so more news, more views, your phone calls. Ring them up, 860-522-WTIC. It's Reese on the Radio on WTIC News Talk 1080.
At Ayala Home Services, we handle hundreds of well water problems a year. We believe hearing your options to get water flowing in your house shouldn't cost a thing. That's why we offer free estimates for wells with no water. Plus, get your water back as soon as the same day. Contact the trusted well professionals at Ayala Home Services when you call, click, or text today and say hello, ALO, call for details. Licensed for safety, HIC 628926, P10277688, S10413487, P10401465, S33086699, SN3004646, E1185643.
Hi, I'm Tom Connors. Went to Mark Patrick's hypnosis seminar February 6, 2019. Nothing worked before. Left there and never smoked again. Amazing. Easy, affordable, and guaranteed. A year later, with my wife Michelle, attended Mark Patrick's weight loss seminar. She lost 18 pounds, and I lost 43 in 8 weeks.
It's true. He smoked 2 packs a day, and nothing worked until Mark Patrick Hypnosis. Now we're losing weight together, eating healthy, full on half the food, crazy, enjoying exercising. Who would have believed Mark Patrick Hypnosis really works?
It's amazing. I can breathe again, my blood pressure went down, and I've got so much energy.
So much energy.
And look great.
Join Mark Patrick Seminar's Early Bird Special, only $49.99. Hypnosis designed to destroy unwanted cravings. That's right. Seminars Thursday, September 18th, Hilton Garden in Hartford North, Bradley International Airport in Windsor. Weight loss seminar 5:30. Stop smoking seminar 8 p.m. Or Saturday, September 20th, Holiday Inn Express, Southington. Weight loss seminar 11 a.m. Stop smoking seminar 2 p.m. Register markpatrickseminars.com.
Well, vacation is over, school is back in session, and WTIC News Talk 1080 is part of your daily routine with news, weather, and traffic updates, plus talk shows to keep you informed and entertained. It's back to the grind, but we'll help you get through it. WTIC News Talk 1080, always on your radio and on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
You hear that? That's the sound of your business losing money. Legacy phone systems weren't built for today's teams. OpenPhone gives your business a smarter way to stay connected. OpenPhone lets you manage calls, texts, voicemail, and contacts all in one place so that you and your team can deliver a seamless customer experience from ring to... Need to take calls on the go? OpenPhone automatically transcribes, summarizes, and highlights next steps from every call, so you never miss a detail. Need insight into what closes a sale? With OpenPhone's AI call tags, you can instantly spot key topics like objections or pricing questions, and use those insights to coach your team and level up every customer interaction. And yes, you can bring your existing number with you for free. Keep your team in sync and your customers happy with OpenPhone. OpenPhone. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try OpenPhone for free at openphone.com/try and get 20% off your first 6 months. That's openphone.com/try. openphone.com/TRY.
And now, a WTIC News Update.
3:30 Hartford temperature, 74 degrees. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. The suspect in the Charlie Kirk murder is in court in Utah this afternoon.
Authorities in Utah will seek the death penalty against a 22-year-old man charged in the fatal shooting of Charlie Kirk on a college campus.
Because we are seeking the death penalty, the defendant will continue to be held without bail in the Utah County Jail.
Utah County Prosecutor Jeffrey Gray says Tyler Robinson's DNA was found on the trigger and other parts of a rifle that was found near the crime scene. And he says Robinson's parents told officials that the gun description matched that of a gun that Robinson had been given as a gift. Our Carter Evans is on the scene in Utah with more on that.
The description of the gun, he said to authorities,
matched a gun that he had been given, or that Robinson had been given as a gift. Now, this apparently, according to what was just told to us here, was his grandfather's gun. So it was very, very familiar at that point to the family and others.
CBS News Special Report, I'm Matt Piper.
Homicide investigation underway in Waterbury. Police say a man was found shot on Charles Street around 8 last night, pronounced dead at the scene. No word yet on suspects. FBI Director Kash Patel clashed with Democrats at a contentious Senate oversight hearing today, defending his record amid criticism that he's politicized the nation's premier federal law enforcement agency. New York State judge has dismissed the terrorism charges against Luigi Mangione in the state's case over the killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson last December, but he kept the state's second-degree murder charges against the Ivy League grad. Connecticut's Chief Justice Raheem Mullins says ICE agents cannot wear masks and must have a warrant for immigration-related arrests after some detentions of people showing up at or leaving court. Republican State Senate leader Steve Harding, though, claims Democrats want to keep criminals on the street, and the mandate is not safe for the public. Robert Redford has died. The Hollywood icon was 89 in a career spanning more than 60 years. Redford starred in a slew of hit movies and directed others, including an Academy Award-winning turn as director of the family drama Ordinary People in 1980. WTIC News time is 3:32. Here's the forecast.
Pleasant the remainder of this afternoon with a mixture of clouds and sunshine and a high temperature not far from 79 degrees. All in all, very similar to yesterday. Partly to mostly cloudy tonight with a low of 52. Clouds and just a few peaks of sun tomorrow. Cooler than recent days with a high of 73. Mostly cloudy tomorrow night with a couple of showers in the area, low 61 degrees. Back to dry weather on Thursday, partly sunny. Warmer Thursday afternoon with a high of 79. The mostly sunny. Even warmer on Friday with a high of 83. A cold front will cross the area Friday night. Front will likely come through dry. Cool down to low of 49 degrees. And cooler weather for the weekend, but still pleasant. Plenty of sunshine on Saturday with a high of 71 degrees. Dropping into the upper 40s Saturday night. For Sunday, sunny to partly cloudy with a high of 72. A little warmer on Monday of next week, partly sunny with a high of 76 degrees. This is meteorologist Bob Larson in the WTIC Weather Center.
From the WTIC 24-hour traffic network, as we head into the drive home, still have one lane closed, the right lane on Route 9 South in Berlin between exits 33 and 32. Car went down an embankment there. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Suicide is something that affects all of us, and we can all play a part in saving lives. Make a difference in your community by walking out of the darkness with us on Saturday, September 27th at Duncan Park in Hartford. Help spread awareness and understanding. Send the message that help is available and raise funds for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. Register today at afsp.org/CT Capital Area. And then we'll see you at Duncan Park on September 27th. WTIC News Talk 1080 is a proud supporter of the American Federation for Suicide Prevention Out of the Darkness Walk.
My doctor told me my cholesterol is borderline. So I took control with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula. Garlic helps maintain healthy cholesterol safely and naturally. It's odor and taste-free, and Garlic is a world leader in garlic potency. I'm taking charge of my cholesterol with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula, cholesterol's natural enemy.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. The term natural references only the garlic in the product. Use as directed.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
If you want thick, healthy, gorgeous hair, then you need Hair Volume by New Nordic. Available as a tablet or delicious gummy. Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com or in the hair aisle at your local CVS.
Hey friends, I'm Sharon McMahon, host of Here's Where It Gets Interesting. Each week I speak with authors, experts, and thought leaders on everything from American history and democracy to how to be a better person on the internet. And don't miss my extremely popular docuseries, which educate you on things you never learned in history class. Follow and listen to Here's Where It Gets Interesting on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
More than a few of our patients have talked to me about their first time, but it's not the first time you're probably thinking about. It's the first time that erectile dysfunction ruined the moment. This is Dale for Northeast Men's Health. And if you're over 50, it's likely that you've had that first time yourself. But the good news is that if you're like most men, that first time can be the last time that ED impacts your sex life. At Northeast Men's Health, we're experts in treating ED. We've treated tens of thousands of men using protocols with success rates well over 90%. And those treatments, in most cases, have made sex great again for both them and their partners. You could even find that you're performing like you haven't in years. So if ED has been affecting your intimacy, it's time to make the last time that happens the last time that happens. For just $99, you'll receive blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-930-5956. That's 800-930-5956 or go to northeastmenshealth.com. We have 6 offices across the Northeast to serve you. Northeast Men's Health, a Promenic restorative health practice.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. The IRS just rolled out a new program to help struggling taxpayers more easily resolve their tax problems. It's called the Taxpayer Relief Initiative, and it opens up powerful new options for people looking to get back on the right track with the IRS. And no one knows this program like the professionals at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution company. They've resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients and have the expertise and experience to help you. One easy call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries of wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Make today the beginning of your fresh start with the IRS. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief now for your free confidential consultation.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Center, dedicated to serving people 50 and up like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/fax or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Hi there, this is Jody Rell, former governor. Happy birthday, WTIC.
Jody Rell. Anyway, we're back. Reese on the radio. News Talk 1080 WTIC. Let's do some headlines. Speaking of Charlie Kirk, Connecticut politicians are drawing fire for comments and sometimes no comments at all about the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Farmington School Board Chairman Bill Beckert is under fire for a post that he says he did not write that read, "They reap what they sow," after Kirk's death. Beckert says, quote, "That post does not reflect how I feel about Charlie Kirk's work. It's not my words." He said this to a large crowd at a board meeting at West District School. On another front, the National Republican Congressional Committee, which seeks to win elections for Republicans in the U.S. House of Representatives, on Monday sent out a statement saying that radical Democrat Johanna Hayes has said nothing, absolutely nothing, in the days since Kirk was killed in a shooting in Utah. That was witnessed by thousands on a college campus. They said, quote, "Silence is complacency." This was according to Maureen O'Toole, the Eastern Regional Press Secretary for the NRCC. Radical Democrat Johanna Hayes' reckless fear-mongering fanned the flames of violence that led to Charlie Kirk's assassination and now she refuses to even condemn the violence. Hayes rejected the suggestion and has said that, saying that she has been silent. She says, quote, I absolutely condemn political violence in all forms and have expressed that repeatedly throughout my time in Congress. Haynes said that statement to the Hartford Courant. When we thought that Avello was going through some damage and damage control after the state's Attorney General, William Tong, went after the airline, they said that it was at the top of the list of airlines that might end up making this year's Airlines We Lost list. But now that's no longer the case. After a very dicey first quarter, the airline has turned to better results. It's also raised cash and is now buying a fleet of 50 Embraer E2s with options for more. This doesn't mean that somebody should be bullish on Avello, but it does mean that they're not going away anytime soon. In fact, they had a really, really horrible couple of months. In fact, the Q1 said that, in fact, really January and February were big problems. March was a little weaker, but because of the shift to Easter into April, they got better. But January and February were downright awful. This is a story I've been dying to talk about, and I'm sure you are going to call about it. If you haven't heard, the Sean Paul Reyes and Brian Fahey saga is far from over. Brian Fahey's 911 call on July 11th of this year has now been made public. And on it, Brian Fahey's wife can be heard screaming, no, 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 for Fahey not to return outside with a gun that he retrieved so he can carry it, which is seen in the Sean Paul Reyes' video. Brian goes on to disclose to the 911 operator that he intends to shoot Reyes. Here is a clip of that 911 call. There is more to it. I'll explain it after.
911, what time's your emergency?
Hey, it's Brian Fahey. I'm a Connecticut State Trooper.
Yes.
And I got somebody trespassing on my property. I live on...
No! What's the address? Hold on. What's the address?
Get out of my way. I have a gun, and I'm going to go shoot him right now.
Address?
That's right. As you can hear there, he is telling his wife, who is telling him, no, no, no. He is saying, get out of my way. He tells the 911 dispatcher, I'm going outside to shoot him, is what he says in there. You hear that. There's much more to the audio. In fact, there's a 911 call by Fahey's wife, which I'm not going to play because, again, I don't do the whole women and children thing. But it totally destroys Brian Fahey's assertion that his wife and his daughter were cowering in a room upstairs. In fact, if you listen to her 911 phone call, it appears that she is shouting to the daughter, who continuously keeps going to the front door to check on her father, which is understandable. It's not a critique of the girl. She knows that her father's outside arguing, and as children do, she's concerned about her dad and what he's doing. But you can hear his wife screaming to the daughter, get away from the door, close the door, get away from the door, which again is not consistent with what Brian Fahey says happened in this case. Okay? So if you want to hear it, you can find it online. It's been made available. Now it's time for the stupidest thing I read today.
Yes, you do. Stupid as can be. This could very well be the stupidest person on the face of the earth.
Connecticut Deep admits to a Connecticut deep fake. It turns out that they have now admitted that they used an AI-generated image on social media. So this is where it gets ridiculous and absolutely stupid. Do I have the picture? If you're online and you want to see the photo, I might as well post it now so you can see it. It's got to be a little crude. Is it not that? Yeah, I can't. I couldn't post the picture because it's not like a regular photo. Can I not put it on here? Okay, so anyway, the picture is supposed to be of a person who is out in the wilderness wearing an orange vest, who is firing a bow and arrow. And the photograph is so bad, you can recognize that it is an AI made photo. Why do you know that? It's because on the photograph, the hand holding the bow, that one has 4 fingers, one finger separated from the other. On the hand that's pulling the arrow, that hand has 6 fingers. Actually, it has 5 fingers and a thumb. That's what it has. And it's clear, you can see it. In fact, there's an animal in the photo wearing an orange vest, which again does not make sense in a photograph. And it's supposed to be a picture that Connecticut Deep is supposed to be showing people. It says, wear your orange vest to protect yourself and to show respect to other hunters who are out in the field. And they chose to use an AI image instead of just going outside, like the thing they do. They could have just gone outside and taken a photo with somebody with a bow and arrow, but these lazy bums decided to AI generate going outside. Just, again, if you want to see the photo, you know what? I'll post it on my Facebook page and on my X page so you can see it. It's absolutely astonishing. I couldn't believe it when I saw it. I was like looking, I was like, what's wrong with this? No. I started counting fingers. I went, oh no. Yeah. That's deep. Environmental. Couldn't go outside. Let's go to Ralph. What's going on, boss?
Reese, how you doing? I have an opinion. Is Murphy the worst U.S. senator in the history of the country, or is Adam Schiff the worst U.S. senator in the history of the country?
Oh, you know what? As much as I go after Murphy, Schiff is irredeemable. Oh, my goodness, he's irredeemable. I've got some audio I need to get to his as well between he and Kash Patel, who took him to the woodshed.
I heard that, but I didn't see it. But I wish I could.
Oh man, yeah, I'll see if I can play it. I'll see if I can play it in a minute. I'll get the audio for you. I saw pieces of it, but I was trying to get this audio of the district attorney in the Charlie Kirk case. So yeah, I was gonna. You might be. I'm sorry, Chris Murphy is a horrible person. I'm sorry, he just is. I'm just saying as a character. I don't know if he's evil. I'm not going to go that far. But just as a person, I think he's kind of a jerk. But that being said, Adam Schiff, reprehensible. I mean, beyond. And he knows it. He's, again, you know the term I use, Ralph, right? He's a worm. He's just a worm.
Absolutely. No, he's lower than that. I agree. I have another kind of question to pose if I have a minute.
Sure, go ahead, real quick.
All these liberals who say it's okay to shoot somebody if their political ideology is not what the liberals like, that means it's okay to shoot liberals if the other side doesn't agree with their ideology.
No, it's not. No. This is the thing. And this is exactly the point that I was talking about maybe a couple of weeks ago. So when people say that, we now have literally devolved into liberals, Democrats, or progressives get to set the standards of where we are. Now, I'm one of the people who always say it here, Ralph. I said, I always make them live by the standards that they create, not us. I make them. So when they start telling us how we're supposed to behave, when the moment comes when they're supposed to behave like that, I make sure that they live by that. I never suggest that we should go down to their level. Never.
You're 100% correct, Reese. But I'm just wondering, the way things are going now, and I may be wrong, they may have pushed a little bit too far, and the nutcases on the other side can say.
But you know what's going to, I'll tell you what's going to happen because of that, Ralph, before I go to a break. That's the thing. You know, what happens is that you do something in return that's so awful, people forget about what got you here. We're dealing with people in a society that lickety-split will forget about what drove us down. And people forget, I'm telling you, that April 7th article and that July 7th article about Democrats wanting violence, people forgot that article. No one's even citing it. But again, that was 2 months ago, and people forgot that article even exists. But that's where we were 2 months ago. Democrats screaming for more violence, for bloodshed. And then here we have it, and people acting like that article never existed. We are here because they want us to be here. We can't stoop to their level.
Unless it's Democrat blood that's being shed.
No, it can't be anybody's. Jesus, what is it people don't get? Oh, I think okay. I think I misunderstood him. I think that he was saying, okay, that unless it's theirs, they don't want it. Yes, of course. Well, they're the ones who said that Democrats need to be, they needed to be willing to risk themselves getting shot by ICE so that ICE could be demonized. That's what they believed in the Axios article, that they should break more rules. Let's take a break. We'll be back. More news, more views. When we return, it's Reese on the Radio on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Comcast Business High Five Hotline. What's the state of your excitement?
I signed my business up for the 5-year price lock guarantee, and I can't stop high-fiving people. High five!
Okay, deep breath. You're in a good place. You signed your business up for 5 years of gig speed internet and advanced security, all on our ultra-reliable network.
Gig speeds and advanced security? I'm so stoked.
Yep, and you get it at a great rate that's locked in for 5 years. Woo! The high five is just your body's way of saying, I'm winning.
So this is natural.
High-fiving everyone you see in a state of business savings enthusiasm, totally natural.
Sweet. Thank you. Thank you. High five, everybody. High five.
The Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee is back, but only for a limited time, so sign your business up today.
High five.
Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 9/21/25 for new customers with qualifying bundle. Current customers may be eligible depending on services and area. Guaranteed rate applies to monthly service charge, excluding taxes and fees. Other restrictions apply.
If you have any sort of joint pain, you got to listen up. Whether it's from years of hard work or an old injury that never healed right, whatever it is, you can have it stop right now. I'm Brian Shackman here talking about QC Kinetics. You can flip the script. It's regenerative medicine, advanced cellular treatments that help your body heal and restore the damage in your joints. They don't cover it up. They don't cut it out. They're actually helping heal and restore. The results are long-lasting relief, and it's amazing. It's so busy here in Connecticut, they opened up a third office. So instead of planning your day around pain, plan it around life, whether it's walking, hiking, playing with your kids, whatever. QC Kinetics can do without surgery, without drugs. Okay, give them a call. That first consultation is totally free. So bring your MRI, your x-rays, and find out if it's something for you. 860-440-PAIN. Again, it's 860-440-PAIN. They're located in Avon, New Haven, and Glastonbury. So give them a call. Chances are it's close to you. That free consultation, 860-440-PAIN.
You're listening to Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody. Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install a Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
It's Reese on the Radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
Let's go to George in St. Louis. Hello, George.
Hi, Reese. I've got two questions about social media.
Okay.
One is, has social media been so degrading that now that they're giving marching orders to kill people? And secondly, has it become so addictive that by the millions now people are like trained monkeys to respond to that same social media? And either case, it's time to start a class action suit and shut it down. It's become so evil,
so vile. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, this Discord place and Blue Sky have really turned into, I mean, as you described, these cesspools to a large degree. As far as a class action suit is concerned, I would say, look, that a lot of these companies do need to, sort of be under the microscope, as we did with the Twitter files. Now, the interesting part about what you're talking about here, George, is remember what everyone said was supposed to happen with Twitter when Elon Musk bought it. Now it turns out, according to everything we've learned so far, Discord is where this guy was able to talk about Charlie Kirk and his plans to execute him. All on Discord, no red flag.
Johnson was talking to dozens of people online about his
Robinson, you mean? Yeah. Exactly. No one there. No one
Robinson.
even checked them. So on the other side, you have Blue Sky, which has been a reaction to Charlie Kirk's death. What have those folks been doing? Those folks have been mocking his death, and nobody on Blue Sky is even.
And why weren't they checked out?
Exactly. That's
the FBI needs to go into those files and check out every one of those people.
And 100%
on Robinson's.
Yes, what anybody he was having exchanges with. You're absolutely right. And again, that's the whole point. Remember, Twitter was supposed to be the cesspool, right? And they created Blue Sky simply because of what they called the Wild Wild West of Twitter. Now Twitter becomes the #1 news aggregate for everybody. And Blue Sky becomes the thing that they were threatened by, or the thing that they said was going to happen with Twitter. Absolutely stunning. And Discord, having a teenager around talking about Discord clearly said to me, it's like, okay, obviously I'm never going to join that thing. That doesn't sound like that's even interesting. Plus, I don't play video games. But now, that underbelly, I don't think he ever going to be. The internet has been around, since the mid-90s? It's almost, a little more than 30 years? The dark web is there. No one's ever been able to get rid of it. You can try. But as long as you can buy a kidney on those things. No, I'm kidding. I don't know if you can. That's what I used to say about Bitcoin. Let's get our first check of weather and traffic. We got Bob Larson in weather, and Mark Christopher is in the BPS Traffic Center. How you doing, Mark?
I'm doing real good, Reese. Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon, everyone. If you're heading 9 southbound, look out for a crash down by exit between 33 and 32 on the southbound side of Route 9 in Berlin. Car went over the embankment there, so the right lane's out, and delays are back to the 72 interchange behind that accident, so look out for that. If you are traveling into Hartford right now, 84 eastbound delays, 44 Prospect Oakwood down to the Bulkley Bridge. Westbound 84 is tied up approaching the Bulkley Bridge out to 47 Sigourney Street. If you are traveling on the southbound side of I-91, look for slow traffic as you move down from exit 34 down to 32A and B. Another bump down by exit 28. If you're traveling northbound 91, easy ride Cromwell up into Windsor. If you are 291, 384, that looks good east of the river. 2 westbound, moving well, Glastonbury and East Hartford. Quiet Middletown, Waterbury looks good, 84 and 8. Southbound on the Wilbur Cross Parkway, you're going to see some delays now from 60 down into the West Rock Tunnel. And 95 south in New Haven, slowing 46 down to exit 44. Traffic and weather together on the 8s, WTIC News Talk 1080.
This report is brought to you by Moderna.
Mnexspike COVID-19 vaccine mRNA by Moderna has arrived.
I don't think I was comparing it to X, Bushwhacker. I was just saying another internet platform, so to speak. People exchange conversations on there. But yeah, I mean, I think Blue Sky is supposed to be the counter to X.
79, partly to mostly cloudy tonight, low 52. Then plenty of clouds tomorrow. A little cooler with the cloud cover, high 73. Clouds and a couple of showers tomorrow night, low 61. Turning out partly sunny on Thursday, pleasant Thursday afternoon, and warmer once again with a high of 79, and it looks to be even warmer on Friday. I'm Bob Larson of the WTIC Weather Center.
WTIC is celebrating 100 years on the air and 100 years of serving Connecticut. This is WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford, an Odyssey station.
It's 4 o'clock, Hartford temperature 74 degrees. Good afternoon, I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. The man accused in the assassination of Charlie Kirk, Tyler Robinson, is due in court in Utah this afternoon. We get this report now from CBS News.
Officials in Utah are formally charging the suspect in the Charlie Kirk shooting with aggravated murder. Utah County Attorney Jeff Gray also acknowledged the public interest in the case.
It bears reiterating that this case will be tried in a court of law consistent with our Constitution, not the court of public opinion.
He said the decision to seek the death penalty was his alone.
Because we are seeking the death penalty, the defendant will continue to be held without bail in the Utah County Jail.
Scott McFarland reports on some of the evidence.
What's alleged here is a very granular set of messages between Tyler Robinson and Tyler Robinson's roommates, some of which, if proven true in a court of law, are remarkably damning. They say Robinson told his roommate that he'd been planning this for a week, that he was trying to recover the rifle that was left behind in the wooded area near that building at UVU.
CBS News Special Report, I'm Cammie McCormick.
In the wake of confrontations at state courthouses, Connecticut Chief Justice Raheem Mullins has issued new guidelines for ICE agents on the premises. No masks and no immigration arrests without a warrant. Democrat Steve Stastrom is the House chair of the legislature's Judiciary Committee.
You should be able to enter a courthouse in this state free of fear that when you try to achieve justice, a masked, unmarked individual is going to grab you and pull you out of the courthouse based on your perceived immigration status.
ICE agents have been staking out courthouses nationwide, detaining those attending hearings. Advocates say the activity is discouraging people from showing up in court. Homicide investigations underway in Waterbury. It was just before 8 last night that officers responded to a report of shots fired outside 94 Charles Street, smoke shop there. The victim, a male, found suffering from a single gunshot wound, pronounced dead at the scene. Still no word on any suspects or a motive in that case. FBI Director Kash Patel appeared before the Senate Judiciary Committee today and defended the ouster of top officials at the Bureau. Correspondent Nicole Killian reports.
Director Patel has defended his handling of the agency, pointing to significant decreases in violent crime and homicides, also citing some of the work that the agency has done here in D.C. and other cities to try to bring crime rates down.
But New Jersey Senator Cory Booker wasn't buying what Patel was selling.
We know this is one of the few people we have seen in leadership positions, him and the deputy director, have no experience, none, zero, in the FBI whatsoever.
His career spanned over 6 decades on TV, stage, and screen. Robert Redford has died. He starred in a number of hit movies, including his turn as Sundance to Paul Newman's Butch Cassidy in 1969.
I'll jump first. No. Then you jump first. No, I said. What's the matter with you? I can't swim!
Redford also directed several films, including Ordinary People, for which he won an Academy Award, Quiz Show, and The Legend of Bagger Vance. Robert Redford was 89. On Wall Street, just before the close, the Dow was down 129 points, NASDAQ down 14, S&P down 8 points. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Another summer over. You may have noticed that your energy is lower. Your workouts aren't as productive. Perhaps you aren't sleeping as well and feel foggy all the time. Maybe even your sex drive is off. This is Dale for Northeast Men's Health. And if you're experiencing some or all of these symptoms, it's likely you have low testosterone. And if that's what's going on with you, don't wait. You need to call us at Northeast Men's Health and get treated for your low T. Because living with low testosterone is no way to live. With our low T treatments, if you're like most guys, your life will change considerably. Improved sleep, better energy, greater gains in the gym, better mental clarity, and your sex drive will likely improve as well. Plus, most men see these results in just a few weeks. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes PSA and T tests and a medical consult. And if you start treatment the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 800-930-5956. That's 800-930-5956. Or go to northeastmenshealth.com. We have 6 offices across the Northeast. Northeast Men's Health, a Promedic restorative health practice.
It's Reese on the radio. And don't say we didn't warn you on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
Congratulations goes to Scott D. of Manchester. Scott is today's winner of the Between Rounds dozen bagels a month for 6 months, courtesy of Between Rounds, the Bagel Bakery and Sandwich Cafe, which is located in South Windsor, Manchester, and Vernon. If you'd like a chance to win, you've got to go online to reeseontheradio.com. That's REESE on the radio.com. Put in all of your info right there. You can see it. Check out Substack and all that other good stuff. But put in your information. Make sure your telephone number and your birth date are included. You must live in the state of Connecticut, and you cannot have won within the last 6 months. So enter now. So when we come back, I will explain what all of this silliness is about. I asked the question, if you had to fly in an airplane out of Hartford, it's the only airline out of Hartford going to Mar-a-Lago, and the airline that you had to choose only had a 32% chance of landing safely, how much would you pay? How much would you pay for that airline? Let's ask Roland. Roland, again, it's the only way that you can get down. Well, not the only way. I should say, let me remember that. The only way you can fly down to Mar-a-Lago from Hartford. And that airline only has a 32% chance of landing safely. How much would you pay for the airline, or would you find another way to go?
First of all, I'm not going.
Are you saying?
Not giving nothing with my life a 32%
accurate
chance.
Yeah, right. You wouldn't give anything, right? You wouldn't give a dime.
I'm a drive.
Yeah, exactly. That's what my wife said. My wife said I would drive, or I would pay for like an Amtrak, or maybe even what do you call it? What's the face? The other one, a Greyhound, right? Or Peter Pan. Of course you would fly. No one would spend any amount, even if the airline charged you $1 first class seat with a meal. If the plane
matter.
30 exactly, you would never pay a dime for that with a 32% chance, right? Good. So when we come back, I'm going to
I already know it's leading up to something.
Oh, it's leading up to something good. Because I don't believe that anything with a 32% approval rating, anybody should spend money on. So some people need to count their blessings when they do. We'll explain when we get back. Stand by. Let's get to traffic and weather. Bob Larson's got weather. Mark Christopher's in the BPS Traffic Center. Mark, how about you? You take a bus, right?
Well, good afternoon. If you're heading into Hartford right now on the eastbound side of 84, look for delays.
Yeah, he just been about his business lately.
Apparently.
Westbound 84 is tied up East Hartford, 56 Governor Street out to 47 Sigourney. 91 South.
I mean, unless you're hitting the baseball now, I'll put money on that. 32% is not bad at all for hitting the baseball.
To Windsor. Now, if you're traveling to westbound, seeing delays in East Hartford, 1D up to the 84 West merge. 291 384 looking okay. We do have an accident in Berlin 9 southbound between exit 33 and 32. Vehicle went off the right side of the highway down the embankment there. Right lane shut down, delays back to 35 in New Britain. Behind that, some rev-wrecking delays northbound on Route 9 as you approach exit 32. If you're heading into Middletown 9 northbound, a little slow at the Aragoni Bridge. 72 westbound is running slow from exit 2 up to the 84 West merge. 84 westbound is tied up from 37 down to exit 33 in Plainville. We've got some road work going on there right now, so that is backing you up through that area, so look out for that. And if you are traveling into Waterbury right now and you're on the eastbound side of 84, that's a little slow moving by 26 in Cheshire down to the 691 interchange. Heading southbound on the Parkway, delays approaching 60 down to the West Rock Tunnel, and 95 South New Haven's tight 46 down to exit 44. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
A mixture of clouds and sunshine the rest of this afternoon. A high of 79 degrees and partly to mostly cloudy tonight, low 52. Mostly cloudy tomorrow, cooler than today, high 73. We'll stay mostly cloudy tomorrow night. There could be a couple of showers in the area, low tomorrow night 61. Back to partly sunny, warmer weather on Thursday with an afternoon high of 79. Right now it is 74 in Manchester. It's 76 degrees in Windsor. It's 75 in Hartford. This is meteorologist Bob Larson of the WTIC Weather Center.
Dreaming of a perfect smile? At Columbia Dental, our orthodontic experts specialize in braces and clear aligners like Invisalign. Get the smile you've always dreamed of. Open 7 days a week. Call 860-645-0111 or visit ColumbiaDental.com.
When you've got plumbing problems, you want to get them taken care of ASAP. We get it. We're Joe the Plumber, and we promise fast, friendly, reliable service. So when your sink or toilet or pipes act up, get the plumbers who get it. Find out more at calljoetheplumber.com.
Don't let ugly algae streaks bring down your curb appeal. Choose the roof that keeps its color, its strength, and its beauty. Atlas Roofing with Scotchgard Protector, because the only thing your neighbors should notice is how great your roof looks. Please visit peterlbrown.com.
Hey, it's Eric Erickson, letting you know you can now hear me weekdays, noon till 2, right here on WTIC. Now you can listen live every day. I'll cut through the talking points and get straight to the truth. I'm going to give you my unfiltered take on politics, culture, and faith, and cover all the news as it happens. Join me weekdays, noon till 2. It's the Eric Erickson Show on WTIC, NewsTalk 1080.
Life unfolds in ways you never quite expect. Starting a new business, getting remarried, being hurt on the job, or through personal injury. Each time, you're left searching for someone new to trust. But what if you had a full-service law firm that knows you and a firm that can represent all of your legal needs? With BPS Lawyers, you get more than a lawyer. You get a full-service law firm. Visit bpslawyers.com. BPS Lawyers, your lawyers for life. Proud full-service law partner of Yukon Athletics. Nick Payne-Dearis is responsible for the content of this ad.
Your vanish almost overnight, stolen by scammers who forge a deed and transfer it out of your name. The FBI calls it house stealing, and the worst part is you may not know it until it's too late. Find out if you're already a victim now at HomeTitleLock.com. Use promo code RADIO for a 30-day free trial, a title scan, and access to a title specialist, a $250 value. Go to HomeTitleLock.com now. Promo code RADIO.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
It's Reese on the Radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
All right, what was I talking about? How much would you pay for a plane ticket to fly first class from Hartford to Mar-a-Lago? Is only one airline, and that airline had a 32% chance of landing safely. What would you pay? And of course, the obvious answer is I wouldn't pay anything. I would never waste my money on that. Which begs the question why anybody would be upset about this story. Because there are plenty of things in life you would not spend 32% on. You wouldn't go into a restaurant and buy a dinner if the waitresses had a 32% approval rating. You wouldn't. If you found out that you were staying at a hotel where only 32% of its patrons thought that they had great service, or at least satisfactory service, that you would stay in that hotel, or you would spend top dollar to stay there. It's like, wait, you got 32% rating. What do you mean you're charging $300, $400 for a hotel stay? Your ratings are garbage. They don't justify that, which makes sense. I had to use the whole extreme thing with an airline is because, of course, you wouldn't risk your life for 32% approval with 32% probability. That's nuts. So imagine when I heard this story. An article from the New York Times discusses the Trump administration's reallocation of federal education funds, specifically highlighting the injection of $500 million into historically black colleges and universities and tribal universities. This funding boost is presented alongside increases for American history and civics education, $137 million, and charter schools get $60 million. However, people are upset about this because they don't think it's enough. Oh, $500 million. Oh, and don't forget, they're also upset that Donald Trump took that money and moved it away from Hispanic schools that were more than likely funneling that money towards illegals and give them to Americans who deserved it. So a New York Times article sort of talks on both sides of his face about how it's, of course, a great thing that these HBCUs are getting the money. And, of course, charter schools, not so much, because people don't like charter schools because that, goes against the public school system and, of course, the labor unions or the school unions, right? So they're trying to pit one against the other in all of this, but Donald Trump got no accolades, none. In fact, no mainstream media coverage about giving historically black colleges $500 million. In fact, one particular critic, who will remain unnamed, suggested that that was just dirt money. $500 million is nothing, which made me go to the statistics. Folks, the average 6-year graduation rate for black students at historically black colleges and universities is approximated at 32%. Based on the most recent comprehensive data available from 2017 and the National Center for Education Statistics reporting. This is lower than the overall 6-year graduation rate for black students across all institutions, which stands at about 46%. For context, the average 4-year graduation rate across ranked HBCUs is around 23%. Though top-earning performing HBCUs, Spelman and Howard University, exceed 60% in 4 years. Factors like higher proportions for first-generation or of first-generation and low-income students contribute to these rates, despite HBCUs producing nearly 20% of all black bachelor degrees. So why would I spend top dollar, spending all of my money for a 32%, and in some cases, a 23% return? We call that a bad investment. We also call that hustling backwards in the hood. So I just want to let these folks out there screaming and hollering about, $500 million is beans. For what we're getting for it, I say we're barely getting a bargain. If I look at these numbers, why are we spending $200 million? They're getting no results. This money is going to nowhere. What's it paying for? Drapes? What's it paying for? Chairs? Tables? Gardening? What's $500 million coming from? Since 2017, 32%? You wouldn't spend top dollar on 32% of anything. Now, all of a sudden, we're supposed to be okay with that when it comes to historically black colleges or university? These things are waste. And I just heard the other day that United Airlines has partnered with 2 HBCUs that have, wait for it, a 2% graduation rate. Do you understand that? United Airlines has partnered with the 2 lowest graduation rates HBCUs to look for pilots. Again, would you spend top dollar on an airline that had a 32% chance of landing safely? Of course not. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Some people are just ridiculous. So, if I got your panties up in a bunch about this, that's not on me. I would talk to your local HBCU or talk about the students who are there, who are clearly failing miserably. That's all. They're on the government dole for $500 million. Perhaps make something of that. Come back with at least, 35% graduation. At least I know it was ticking upwards. And I wouldn't be so upset. So just literally, don't bore me. Don't bore me. Spare me all the nonsense and all that crazy stuff. Just spare me. You got no legs to stand on. It's like even when you get the money, nobody reported on it. Nobody even bothered. The most racist president in the world. He gives $500 million and you say nothing of it. And when you do say something of it, it ain't enough. What are we getting for our money? It might as well be USAID. It is taxpayer money. It's my money going to a university, colleges and university that don't do squat. that don't produce anything.
They have a good time, though.
Yeah, apparently you do. Let's go back to the phones. 860-522-WTIC. What's up, Fulton?
What's up, buddy? I got a thing about Pam Bondi. What's your take on her wanting to prosecute the printer that won't print the Charlie Kirk thing?
Okay, who are we talking about? I didn't hear you.
So, Pam Bondi, let me take this my phone stick. You hear me?
Yeah, you're really, really breaking up. Say that one more time.
I don't know. This phone stick.
You may need to.
Pam Bondi?
Oh, Pam Bondi. I didn't hear what Pam Bondi did today. That's probably what I missed.
So she wants to bring charges against the printer that won't print the Charlie Kirk memorial.
Yes. Okay. So yes, that is okay. So that's a lot of people are saying that is an issue because she's going after private industry, but that's not the case. Office Depot cannot be charged. However, the individual who did that is discrimination. That is a discrimination case, and the DOJ. Say again.
What if it's against his religion, like in the cake baking case?
That would be absolutely right. No. Listen.
The law of the land has been set by the Supreme Court.
Fulton, you're 100% right. If indeed this was a religious liberties case, that would have been expressed in the video. But no, the individual called it propaganda. She called it political propaganda, which is a violation. That's where the problem came in, is because she said it was politics.
All right, I got one for you. So in 2019, Connecticut charged 2 kids at UConn for yelling the N-bomb, hard R, in a parking lot. They took a plea, and there's something on the books now. I looked it up. It's called ridicule on the account of creed, religion, color, nationality, race. Like, are you okay with that? Like,
okay, so were the individuals screaming independently the N-word?
Yeah, in the middle of a parking lot. Somebody has a video of it. They were offended. Not somebody. They were drunk. It was like 3 a.m. and they were yelling the N hard on.
Okay, so they were screaming the N-word, and people there heard it, and then they were charged. Now, what was the official charge? Because I'm sure they had to wiggle some charge onto something.
So I figured that, but the kid took a plea to that, which came on the books in 2024. So I don't know 2019 why.
Okay, let me look it up so I'm informed. That's an actually really, really good case, because the argument should be that.
Like, what if someone calls me? What if someone says I have white privilege, and I say, well, I'm offended? And I say another thing, that the guy that wanted to live in Africa dropped an N-bomb on you. Now you can press charges on him, literally with this case.
No, I get what you're saying. That's what I got to find out exactly what the charges were and why they dropped them. Because remember, just because somebody's charged with something doesn't mean a prosecutor has the ability to convict, right? So
no, they didn't drop them. That's the thing. They kept going, and then they took a plea deal, which I was like,
yeah. But when you take a plea deal, it's for something other than the original charge. But I got to see it first. Let me look at it.
You're still taking a guilty plea to something.
Right. It's usually when you take a guilty plea, though. What I'm saying, was it the same charge that they originally took?
No, it was discharged, so they couldn't even charge him with it in 2019. The
Yeah.
case was in 2019. One of the kids just now, one of them from Plainville and one's from like Derby or something. One of them takes the probation to discharge. But I'm
Okay.
like, look, it just came out, so I don't understand how he was charged with it prior. It was not a full thing in 2024.
Okay, let me look into it so I can at least I'll have a basis, and then I'll say something about it. I got to get some other stuff. Thanks, Fulton. I appreciate you, buddy.
37 on the law on that one.
Okay. Hey, did you hear about the new Fahey details?
I did. I so that phone call. Come on, you can't say stuff like I'm going to. I'm against that. Like, come on. Like, if anything, say I'm scared. I'm going outside, but I'm scared because I'm afraid for my family. Okay, I'm going out to kill this guy. What are you nuts?
Yeah, exactly. I think that's really, really. I think that's damaging evidence against the guy. Thank you, man.
For him, it is.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. We'll talk to you later.
You got it. Yeah, that Fahey thing was. I know I said it, and I tried here with that Brian Fahey, Sean Reyes case. You know, and I know some people jumped around because I know they have their feelings about Sean Reyes. This is, if I haven't expressed this before, let me express it again. With the exception of like you guys, and of course the people who are my friends who call in the show, and you know who they are. But all of you I kind of consider my friends. But these exchanges with these individuals that I have no investment in, I really do often separate myself to a large degree to what is going on, because I only care about one thing, and that are the facts. And, you know, Mark and I were on the phone today talking about another station, another radio show, and somebody he's literally railing against now. He was having a discussion about a politician and asking him what his views were on the comments made by Chris Murphy after the death of Charlie Kirk. And the politician's response was, well, Chris Murphy's my friend. And the reason why that bothered me, again, is so what? That's not the question. I didn't ask you, hey, I know he's your friend. Does that make it difficult for you to chastise him or to be critical of him? No, the problem is that are you saying that everybody else who says something inflammatory about Charlie Kirk, you will dismiss, but because it's your friend, you'll hold off? One, that makes you inconsistent. Two, it makes you a hypocrite. And three, it kind of makes you scum. Because you should be able to look, if I've got a friend, if I abhor stealing and I witness him stealing a stick of gum, I got a problem with that. I don't then say because I don't know the store owner or it's not coming out, you didn't steal from me, that in some way he's not going to have issues with me. He's going to have issues with me because he goes against my principle. He doesn't get to violate them because he's my friend. And if somebody asks me about it and I have to, well, you know, he's my friend, you're kind of a worm. You should have said something. You should have said, yeah, man, I'm not satisfied with that. You know, I'm going to give him a holler. Tell him to chill out because, you know, right now, temperature, cool it. All of us. You too. That would have been respectful. It's like, you know what? That guy, he gets it. That's all. All right, when we come back, I have the manuscript. We've got more articles to get to, so stand by for that. And also, we've got our giveaway to go see Greg Gutfeld at the Premier Theater in Foxwoods. Let's get to traffic and weather. Mark Christopher, he's in the BPS Traffic Center. Hey, man.
Hey, Reese, thank you very much. Well, if you're heading on the southbound side of Route 9, we have a crash in Berlin down by exit 32. The right lane is up because of a vehicle that went over the embankment there. So right now, 9 southbound, you're looking at delays back to the 72 interchange. Behind that, if you're traveling on the westbound side of 84, you've got delays approaching the Bulkley Bridge out to 47 Sigourney. Again, heavy traffic 38 in Farmington down to exit 33 in Plainville. So heavy traffic there. If you're traveling on the eastbound side of 84, you've got delays 44 Prospect Oakwood down to the Bulkley. Southbound 91 delays 34 down to 32 A and B. Again, 27 to 28. If you're traveling northbound 91, that moves well. Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor. 291 through 84 okay east of the river. 2 westbound slowing 1D up to the 84 west merge. 9 northbound a little tight at the Aragoni Bridge in Middletown. 9 northbound again slowing in Berlin up by exit 32, rubbernecking at that southbound crash. 84 eastbound sluggish in Cheshire. 26 down to the 691 interchange. South 95 in New Haven slowing 46 down to exit 44. And southbound on the Parkway, you've got delays 60 in Hamden down into the West Rock Tunnel. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
St. Pleasant the rest of today. A mixture of clouds and sunshine and an afternoon high temperature 79. Parts of the area surpassing 80. Partly to mostly cloudy tonight with a low of 52. Then considerable cloudiness tomorrow. Cooler than recent days with a high of 73. Mostly cloudy tomorrow night with a couple of showers, low 61. Then turning out partly sunny on Thursday, warmer Thursday afternoon, high 79. Sunshine and warmer Friday, high 83. I'm Bob Larson of the WTIC Weather Center.
And now, a WTIC news update.
It's 4:30, Hartford temperature 74 degrees. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. Man who says he accidentally fired a shot from his rifle into an apartment above his in Groton was in court today. Caleb Bean is charged. He said he didn't know there was a round in the chamber when the firearm went off Sunday night, striking a woman in the leg. She's at L&M Hospital in the ICU following significant blood loss. Bean is facing reckless endangerment and other charges. Police investigating a homicide in Waterbury. Officers responded to Charles Street on a shots fired report Monday night. Male victim suffering from a gunshot wound later died at the scene. Prosecutors brought a murder charge against the man accused of assassinating Charlie Kirk and outlined evidence, including a text message confession to his partner and a note left beforehand saying he had the opportunity to kill the conservative activist. DNA on the trigger of the rifle that killed Kirk also matched that of Tyler Robinson, according to the Utah County attorney today. ICE agents are now banned from wearing masks inside Connecticut courthouses. The action comes as agents have been staking out courthouses and arresting people showing up for scheduled hearings. Terrorism charges have been dropped against the man accused of shooting and killing an insurance executive in Manhattan last year. Luigi Mangione is accused of killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. The judge in the hearing said that while Mangione will face a murder rap, there was insufficient evidence that he intended to inflict or affect government policy. Israel has launched its offensive in Gaza City, vowing to overwhelm a city already in ruins from nearly 2 years of war as thousands of Palestinians fled in vehicles strapped with mattresses and other belongings that clogged a coastal road today. Wall Street, the Dow finished down 125 points. The NASDAQ lost 14. S&P was down 8 points. Athletics and the Red Sox will take the pregame right after the 6 o'clock news. The Yankees try to bounce back against Minnesota tonight. Mets open a series at home against the Padres. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Hi, I'm Tom Connors. Went to Mark Patrick's hypnosis seminar February 6, 2019. Nothing worked before. Left there and never smoked again. Amazing. Easy, affordable, and guaranteed. A year later, with my wife Michelle, attended Mark Patrick's weight loss seminar. She lost 18 pounds, and I lost 43 in 8 weeks.
It's true. He smoked 2 packs a day, and nothing worked until Mark Patrick Hypnosis. Now we're losing weight together, eating healthy, full on half the food, crazy, enjoying exercising. Who would have believed Mark Patrick Hypnosis really works?
It's amazing. I can breathe again. My blood pressure went down, and I've got so much energy.
So much energy.
And look great.
Join Mark Patrick Seminar's early bird special, only $49.99. Hypnosis designed to destroy unwanted cravings. That's right. Seminars Thursday, September 18th, Hilton Garden in Hartford North, Bradley International Airport in Windsor. Weight loss seminar 5:30. Stop smoking seminar 8 p.m. Or Saturday, September 20th, Holiday Inn Express, Southington. Weight loss seminar 11 a.m. Stop smoking seminar 2 p.m. Register markpatrickseminars.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install a Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. 1 discount per household.
Stay locked in. Reese on the Radio is on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Got Hollywood news coming up. We'll read a little more of this transcript of the text messages between Tyler Robinson and his roommate, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever that case may have been. I see people still talking about folks on the left and their reactions to this. I've also got another article that I need to get into before we get up out of here. It is a poll that says capitalism is out, socialism is in. This is regarding the rise of AOC and Zoran Mamdani. We'll get to that as well. Also, do not forget, coming up real soon We are going to be taking our winner today to see Gutfeld Live 25, featuring Greg Gutfeld of Fox News with his special guest, Tom Shalhoub, which is will be Sunday at the 21st at 6 p.m. at the Premier Theater at Foxwoods. Don't forget to go to www.foxwoods.com. I have no idea why I'm reading www, just foxwoods.com in order to do that. So stand by for it. Do I have a time to? I guess I do. Let me play this because I just saw this in the conversation between Josh Hawley and FBI Director Kash Patel. This happened, and I think it's worth noting.
It's done in this investigation. Is the FBI investigating the Kirk assassination as part of this broader pattern of anti-religious, anti-Christian violence?
We are investigating Charlie's assassination fully and completely, and running out every lead related to any allegation of broader violence, and we're producing results on that we'll disclose when appropriate.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. Let me just ask you a few questions about that, if I could. Sure. Reports have suggested that the FBI is investigating a broader network of groups that may have had some knowledge of the shooter's plans. Can you give us any details on that, following up what you've already said in public? How's the FBI working to find other potential accomplices, folks who may have known about the shooter's plans, folks who may have encouraged him? Any update on any of that?
So in terms of what we do for an interrogation perspective, we go and reach out to the family and community immediately. And we've conducted those investigations and interrogations with local law enforcement, and we're continuing to do that because those closest to the suspect are going to hopefully know the most about the suspect and his beliefs and his ideology. On top of that, unfortunately, it has been leaked that there was a Discord chat, and for those unfamiliar with it, it's a gaming chat room online that the suspect participated in. So what we're doing, we've already done, is serve legal process, not just on Discord, so that the information we gathered is sustained and held in a evidentiary posture that we could use in prosecution should it be decided to do so. And we're also going to be investigating anyone and everyone involved in that Discord chat.
Okay, very good. I see the public reports that the Discord thread had as many as 20 additional users. It sounds like you're trying to run down all of that to see if that's accurate, who else may have been on that thread, what they may have known. Is that fair to say?
It's a lot more than that. We're running.
So according to Kash Patel, they are running down 20 plus leads in the Discord chat as it relates to Tyler Robinson. Just figured I'd play that. Let's get another check of weather and traffic. Bob Larson and Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
Hey, Reese, thank you very much. And this traffic report being brought to you by Amplify CT. And if you're 9 southbound, we've got a vehicle off the right side of the highway, southbound 9 by exit 32 in Berlin. So the right lane's out there, delays pushing back toward the 72 interchange. If you are traveling on the northbound side of 9, a little slow getting by exit 32, rubbernecking at that southbound crash. Westbound 84 tied up approaching the Boakley Bridge out to 47 Sigourney. Heavy traffic again, 38 in Farmington, out to exit 33 in Plainville. If you are traveling 72 westbound, also heavy traffic coming out of downtown New Britain toward the 84 merge in Plainville. If you are traveling southbound 91, delays 34 down to 32 A and B, and again 27 to 28. Northbound on the Parkway, some slow traffic as you move up in the construction zone heading toward the 91 North ramp. Heading into Middletown 9 northbound, a little slow at the Aragoni Bridge. 84 eastbound in Cheshire, sluggish 26 down to the 691 interchange. Westbound 691 slowing 7 up to exit 8A. If you're traveling into New Haven, southbound 95 delays 46 down to 44. Did you know that Connecticut has regional suicide advisory boards that help to eliminate suicide by focusing on prevention and post-vention response? Learn how you can be part of the solution. Visit amplifyct.org to learn more and amplify our mental health. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Partial sun the rest of today, high 79 and partly to mostly cloudy today, low 52. Mostly cloudy tomorrow. Cooler than recent days, a high of 73, then clouds and maybe a couple of showers tomorrow night, low 61. Thursday will turn out partly sunny, pleasant and warmer Thursday afternoon, high 79. We'll see sunny and warmer Friday. Friday's high reaching 83, right out at 74 in Salem, mid 76 degrees in Newington, 75 in Hartford. I'm meteorologist Bob Larson of the WTIC Weather Center.
If you want thick, healthy, gorgeous hair, then you need Hair Volume by New Nordic. Available as a tablet or delicious gummy. Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com or in the hair aisle at your local CVS.
Suicide is something that affects all of us, and we can all play a part in saving lives. Make a difference in your community by walking out of the darkness with us on Saturday, September 27th at Duncan Park in Hartford. Help spread awareness and understanding. Send the message that help is available and raise funds for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. Register today at afsp.org/CT Capital Area. And then we'll see you at Duncan Park on September 27th. WTIC News Talk 1080 is a proud supporter of the American Federation for Suicide Prevention Out of the Darkness Walk.
The dog days of summer are fading quickly. Hurry to get this limited-time preseason offer. Call ALO Home Services today and take advantage of their $99 heating system check special. Prevent costly and inconvenient breakdowns backed by a worry-free, no-breakdown guarantee. Call, click, or text today and say hello, ALO, licensed for safety. HIC 628926, P102776888, S104134487, D104014665, S33086999, SN3004646, E1185643.
You're listening to Leaf and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30%.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
The NAACP calls him, whoa, I don't think I'm allowed to read this. It's Reese on the Radio. Let's just say some people are not fans. On NewsTalk 1080, WTIC.
I cannot believe that I am getting to report this, and it took a year. John Beckman, if you're in the chat room, I cannot believe that it has been over a year since I have been able to report this, because it's been a while since I've done this segment, and I'm just going to play the applause button and bring you back, folks, to another episode of Willis and Wade. Yes, the saga continues. Is it saga or saga? Whatever it is. Do you guys remember that? Fannie Willis, Nathan Wade? I was obsessed with that. It was like my Young and Restless. John Silva. It was it was the soap opera for the ages. All I ever talked about was this episode. Between these two. I got to play it again. It's been so long. As the courtroom turns, it's Willis and Wade. I love bringing that. Yeah. Oh, gosh. So earlier today, Donald Trump actually was asked to respond to this, but it looks like it's over for Fannie Willis. Fannie Willis will no longer be allowed to prosecute Donald Trump in the election interference case that got him the infamous mugshot. Says that DA Fannie Willis loses her bid to appeal Trump's Georgia election interference case. Donald Trump responded by saying that she is a disaster. So the whole deal was that they had made a decision in the courtroom, and many of you watched it, was that Nathan Wade or Fannie Willis had to remove themselves from the case. He would not remove both of them. So Nathan Wade resigned. Fannie Willis stayed on. Well, sure enough, Donald Trump's attorneys and another defendant's attorneys, and I remember her name is Ashley Stewart, they went to a panel to make sure that they could get rid of Fannie Willis altogether because of her, inappropriateness according to, the case and her relationship with Nathan Wade. And it looked like it was a fleecing operation of the Atlanta or DeKalb County taxpayers. Well, anyway, they ended up getting that. So Fannie Willis was removed and she appealed. And that appeal is finally over. So she is off the case. It is over. Her office cannot prosecute the case, so now it has to go somewhere else. And with that going somewhere else, it has to be determined whether or not they will take up the case. Now, they cannot take a second bite at the apple, so they have to start their investigation clear of any corruption or any sort of, bad faith. So they have to start these charges all over again. They got to investigate everybody. They've got to go through all of the evidence. They got to make sure that everything that they gather is clean, because Fannie Willis's office is tainted now with all of the corruption. But the question is whether or not another district attorney will take the case or they will dump it overall. Now, from what many people gather, because it is Georgia and the office that it's going to go to, that more than likely the case will be dropped. When that happens, who knows? But if a case were ever to be sought, it would be well after Donald Trump serves this term. Unless, of course, he runs in 2028. I'm sorry. I only said that because that was bait. I know how much the left goes nuts behind that. As soon as you mention it, they start pulling out their hair. They start stomping on the ground. They start crying and all this other stuff. He's not going to run in 2028, okay? Relax. Your nightmare is going to be over soon. And it will begin again with J.D. Vance, which I'm rooting for. I'm putting all my ducks in a row right now with that guy. I like him. I really, really do. And I never go in that early. I was not a Herbert Walker Bush fan. No, I couldn't do it. Ugh. There was a part of me that was kind of happy Bill Clinton beat him. Kind of. Just kind of. So, but anyway. That's that. When we in a little bit, actually, at the top of the hour, we'll get to Hollywood news. We'll talk a little bit about Robert Redford and a little movie that I went to go see with him and a lot of big names that was really under the radar. And it had a weird cast. I'm going to talk about that. You guys might probably remember this movie. It came out in 1992 with Robert Redford. We'll talk about that in Hollywood news. Also, in a little bit, we'll talk about this new poll that says that capitalism is out and socialism is in with the Democrat Party. And this article is by Holly Otterbein, who wrote it, on the 15th. We'll talk about this article as well. And you know what? Get on the phone right now, 860-522-WTIC, 860-522-9842. I will give away a pair of tickets right now to go to Gutfeld Live 25 featuring Greg Gutfeld, of course, and Tom Shalhoub this Sunday at 6 p.m. at the Premier Theater at Foxwoods. So if you'd like to go on your own, you got to go to foxwoods.com. But if you call right now, 860-522-WTIC, 860-522-9842, Roland will go through the list and grab the first. I don't even know which one, but he'll randomly select. I don't think we do color number 9. We don't do that here. So you call up, we'll get your phone, and then we will announce the winner there as well. Also, be certain to go to ReeseOnTheRadio.com so you can also check out Reese on the Radio. You can find my Substack there. My recent Substack is about the assassination of Charlie Kirk, and it is titled, Those Who Trespass Against Us, the Assassination of Charlie Kirk. And I didn't pick that. I didn't do that. I have no idea who did that. Somebody did that. That was weird. And in essence, it talks about what Charlie Kirk would have done as a Christian. Could he respond to his own assassination? It doesn't go into the realm of the, superhuman or, the Enlightenment place, but it just talks about, I think the beginning, the best way to frame the opening is what we were promised immediately after the 2024 election. And how we can't forget that. The Democrats told us that their biggest problem was that they never talked to the other side. Kamala Harris's team was afraid to go on Joe Rogan. Instead, they went on places like Call Me Daddy. Or, they stayed in safe spaces, and they wouldn't engage in conversation with the other side, or the manosphere, as they called it, and then wondered why they lost men. And that became a theme for a long time. And while they were refusing to have a conversation with the other side, it was clear that on our side we were, and the person who was doing it the most was Charlie Kirk. And we saw that because there were headlines about it. He was on Bill Maher's podcast. What's it called? Club Random. And then he went on Gavin Newsom's podcast and got Gavin Newsom to admit that it was unfair for biological boys to play in girls' sports. So he was out there doing the thing and making headlines for it, which really kind of, even though he was already a power broker in the new medium that was podcasting, he really cemented who he was. And that's what this article is about, was always the conversation and doing the thing that the other side refused to. Doing the stuff that the other side, and I don't even know if it's fear. Because I think about this in so many different ways. In the sense of, like, what's the worst that could happen if you were to have a conversation with someone you disagree with ideologically, politically, socially? I've always thought, and somebody might think that I'm wrong for thinking this, and I wish a Democrat would tell me, or a liberal or a progressive would tell me. But what I think is, imagine you're in or on one of these podcasts, and you swear you know your stuff, and then you're met with facts that are embarrassing, or your point of view has so many holes in it, and it's dismantled in front of everyone to see. And instead of conceding that you've made a mistake or you may have been misguided, I don't want to use the word wrong, because that ticks people off. It's like you call them wrong and they're very defensive about that. But perhaps even wrong. They have to sit with that, and the people that they represent also have to bear that owning, if you will, and I'm using their term. They have to bear that they were embarrassed. And their credibility is up for grabs, not just with people who disagreed with them outright, but also those who followed that individual or agreed with them. That's where the rubber meets the road. Because to them, it's about credibility, and just credibility, not about warranted credibility. It's just credibility. When they get people like Jasmine Crockett is a perfect example of credibility without substance. Like, what's Jasmine Crockett's selling? Like, what's her selling point? Well, she curses a lot. She does silly little dances. She whips her hair around. She does a lot of, ghettoisms. And her constituents like that. You go, girls, snap your finger type of stuff. The sister girl stuff, they get off on that. They think that's fantastic. But that's the substance. Is she smart? Is she intelligent? According to them, yes. They think that she's very smart. But I kind of feel like when you think that Jasmine Crockett is smart, I look at I look at who's calling her smart. I always, I consider the source. I just do. If you really want to understand how bad it is, go watch that video where Scott Jennings tells Debbie Dingell and the round table that the future of the Democrat Party is Jasmine Crockett. Again, a rock star, according to most. And Debbie Dingell is sitting at that table, and Scott Jennings says on CNN, your rock star, the leader of the Democrat Party, is Jasmine Crockett. And Debbie Dingle turns around. She goes, no. She knows. She knows. That moment right there is exactly all you need. That even they, calling her the leader of the Democrat Party, that's a tell. No, she's not. No. She's great. She's an M80. She makes a loud boom. Some people get irritated by it. But after that, the thrill is gone. Yeah, that's the way it goes. It's unfortunate. But they should know better. I feel bad for them that they won't just tell that woman, knock it off. Back up. But this is what I know to be true. Liberals have a hard time telling black folks, much less black women, to stay in their place. Good luck with that. If black women knew the power that they had in liberal circles, if black women really knew, they could run right through the halls of Congress right now. Ariana Presley can walk through the halls of Congress right now and just tell every white woman inside the halls of Congress on the left side and say, I'm the new leader of this party because I said so. I dare one of y'all girls to say something. And I bet you every one of those women would be like, okay, all right, you're the leader. They'll see that bald-headed woman walk in there, and she tell them right there, hey, you better recognize my blackness. I'm the leader of this party right now. All of them will be like, okay. Yes, ma'am. Congratulations to Troy M. of Walcott. He is today's winner, who is going to see Gutfeld Live 25, featuring Greg Gutfeld of the Fox News Channel, with his special guest, Tom Shalhoub, on Sunday, the 21st at 6 p.m. at the Premier Theater at Foxwoods. Go to foxwoods.com to see if you can get tickets yourself. All right? Okay, when we come back, we got Hollywood news. We got more of your phone calls, 860-522-WTIC. We have more of this transcript to get into as well. And Democrats embracing socialism. It is official when we return. It's, time for weather. Bob Larson's got weather, and Mark Christopher, he's in the BPS Traffic Center. Hey, Mark, I feel like I haven't talked to you.
Hi, Reese. Good afternoon. Always good to talk with you. And if you're heading into Hartford right now, we do have that crash down in Berlin. It's 9 southbound, right at exit 32. Car went over the embankment there. Right lane is out. Delays back to the 72 interchange. Northbound Route 9 a little tight approaching exit 32, rubbernecking at that southbound crash. Now, if you're 84 eastbound, delays 44 Prospect Oakwood in West Hartford down to the Bulkley Bridge. Westbound 84 is tied up East Hartford approaching the Bulkley out to 47 Sigourney. And heavy again, 84 westbound in Farmington, 39A out to exit 33 in Plainville. If you are traveling southbound 91, delays 33 down to 32A and B in Hartford. Again, down by exit 27 and 28. Another bump down by exit 22 in Cromwell. Looks real good. 91 northbound, Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor. 291 eastbound's a little slow coming off of I-91 over to the Bissell Bridge. 2 eastbounds heavy off of I-84 in East Hartford out to exit 3 in East Hartford. 9 northbound's a little slow in Middletown at the Aragoni Bridge. Both sides of 691 slowing approaching exit 7 in Cheshire. Westbound 84 in Waterbury tight 22 to the Mixmaster. And southbound 95 New Haven slowing 46 down to 43 in West Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Staying pleasant the rest of today. A mixture of clouds and sunshine and an afternoon high temperature 79. Parts of the area surpassing 80. Partly to mostly cloudy tonight with a low of 52. Then considerable cloudiness tomorrow. Cooler than recent days with a high of 73. Mostly cloudy tomorrow night with a couple of showers, low 61. Then turning out partly sunny on Thursday. Warmer Thursday afternoon, high 79. Sunshine and warmer Friday, high 83. I'm Bob Larson of the WTIC Weather Center.
Follow WTIC News Talk 1080. Don't miss out on important updates in Connecticut, from breaking need-to-know news, weather alerts, and more. Follow WTIC News Talk 1080 on the Odyssey app now. WTIC is celebrating 100 years on the air and 100 years of serving Connecticut. This is WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford and Odyssey Station.
5 o'clock, Hartford temperature 71 degrees. I'm John Silva. WTIC 1080 News. Authorities in Utah are charging 22-year-old Tyler Robinson with aggravated murder in the shooting death last week of Charlie Kirk. Utah County Attorney Jeff Gray.
I am filing a notice of intent to seek the death penalty.
Correspondent Anna Schechter on some of the new evidence that's come to light.
He actually lingered in his vehicle right by the campus as police were racing up to the roof, and they realized which sort of direction he ran in, and they were following his track. He stayed right there. He was thinking, I want to go back and retrieve that gun.
Robinson is set to appear virtually before a Utah judge at any moment. No masks and no immigration arrests without a warrant. Those are the new rules for ICE agents at state courthouses, as issued by Connecticut Chief Justice Raheem Mullins. They follow ICE staking out courthouses and seizing people showing up to scheduled hearings. Democrat Steve Staffstrom is the House chair of the legislature's Judiciary Committee. He says it's a matter of safety and security in court.
The rule of law depends on accountability and transparency, and that cannot be protected when federal agents storm in, masked, unmarked, and grab law-abiding residents of our state.
Advocates say the activity is discouraging people from showing up in court. Republican Senate Minority Leader Steve Harding acknowledges the Judiciary Committee or Judiciary branch has a right to install new rules, but claims Democrats want to keep criminals on the streets. Under fire from Democrats and some Republicans, FBI Director Kash Patel told Congress today there's no credible information in the files the government has that Jeffrey Epstein trafficked young women to others.
I'm here to testify that the original sin in the Epstein case was the way it was initially brought by Mr. Acosta back in 2006. The original case involved a very limited search warrant or set of search warrants and didn't take as much investigatory material it should have seized. If I were the FBI director then, it wouldn't have happened.
Patel defended the action as others clamor for more files on the case he closed this summer. Woman remains hospitalized after she was shot in Groton on Monday. Authorities say Caleb Bean told them his rifle accidentally went off and struck the victim in the leg in the apartment above his on Sunday night. She sustained considerable blood loss and is in the ICU at L&M Hospital. Toyin Before, a neighbor, says the incident is unnerving.
Hopefully he's going to learn his lesson from this, because to think about somebody having a gun next to you right now is kind of scary.
Audio from WFSB. The AR-15 style rifle was seized by police. Bean faces charges of assault, reckless endangerment, and unlawful discharge of a firearm. His bond was lowered today from $250,000 to $15,000. A judge has rejected the Menendez brothers' petition for a new trial. Reporter Emily Valdez.
The judge ruled that new evidence brought to light in the 2023 Peacock documentary Menendez plus Menudo, Boys Betrayed, would not have changed the outcome of the original trial if the evidence was allowed. Filmmaker Robert Rand.
It was not a complete surprise. This was always a long shot.
In the documentary, former Menudo band member Roy Rossello claimed at age 13 he was raped by Jose Menendez, then the head of RCA Records. The brothers shotgunned their parents, Kitty and Jose Menendez, to death at their Beverly Hills home in 1989. I'm Emily Valdez for CBS News in Los Angeles.
And the Department of the Treasury is set to end the issuance of paper checks for things like tax refunds and Social Security payments, along with other government programs. Stacey Lynn has asked.
More than 5 million people still get them in the mail from the government. They're mostly seniors, people with disabilities, immigrants, and others without bank accounts. Advocates for them are worried they may not get proper notice until a payment doesn't show up. But the Treasury Department says it began mailing beneficiaries information about the change in July, with instructions about alternate payment options.
Markets down today. The Dow lost 125 points. NASDAQ was down 14. S&P shed 8. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
More than a few of our patients have talked first time, but it's not the first time you're probably thinking about. It's the first time that erectile dysfunction ruined the moment. This is Dale for Northeast Men's Health, and if you're over 50, it's likely that you've had that first time yourself. But the good news is that if you're like most men, that first time can be the last time that ED impacts your sex life. At Northeast Men's Health, we're experts in treating ED. We've treated tens of thousands of men using protocols with success rates well over 90%. And those treatments, in most cases, have made sex great again for both them and their partners. You could even find that you're performing like you haven't in years. So if ED has been affecting your intimacy, it's time to make the last time that happens the last time that happens. For just $99, you'll receive blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-930-5956. That's 800-930-5956 or go to northeastmenshealth.com. We have 6 offices across the Northeast to serve you. Northeast Men's Health, a Promedic restorative health practice.
The hour that packs a punch. It's Reese on the Radio on WTIC News Talk 1080.
I'm sorry about that. Anyway, we're back. Reese on the Radio. I was just I was looking at some stuff online, seeing if there was any other breaking news. Wow, just seeing the new video, live video, actually, folks. If you go to the news, if you can, they are showing Tyler Robinson in his court hearing that is live in Provo, Utah. Pretty much looks the same. A little bit of beard growing on him now. And, of course, I guess it's a bail hearing. I don't know if that even matters at all. So that's where that is. So there's a court hearing, so it's live, and you can watch it on Fox if you have an ability to do so. Oh, you know what? I got to get the Hollywood news. My bad. It's Hollywood news with your correspondent, Reese on the Radio. All the glamour, all the glare. It's Hollywood news. So we lost an icon in the movie business. It goes without saying, and the guy was working well into his, 70s. And that was, of course, Robert Redford. Now, I know, again, he was an environmentalist. He was a left-wing guy. He even did that ridiculous movie called Truth, where he plays Dan Rather, the best-looking Dan Rather ever, because Dan Rather. But he was absolutely iconic, Robert Redford, probably one of the most good-looking actors, be in the business. He was a man's man, The Sting, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, undeniable. He was absolute Hollywood as I was growing up. That's right. And Lori was in the chat room, and she says the movie is Sneakers. It's a great movie with Sidney Poitier, Robert Redford, River Phoenix. Don't forget Dan Aykroyd and James Earl Jones are in that movie. And it was a quirky film. I actually went to the theaters to go see it because I had never seen a Sidney Poitier film in the theaters. And that's where I went to go see it. When we come back, I'll talk about something else that was cool about Robert Redford as well in the Academy Award-winning Ordinary People. Let's get back to weather and traffic with Bob Larson and Mark Christopher's in the BPS Traffic Center. You see anything by Robert Redford, Mark?
The Sting.
The Sting, of course. I mean, I guess you can't go without seeing that. Maybe Butch Cassidy?
In the Sundance Kid, and he founded the Sundance Film Festival.
That is correct. Must be noted.
That's a pretty amazing accomplishment on its own, never mind all the other stuff.
Absolutely. In fact, most films don't get in, literally don't become a name until it gets to Sundance or Tribeca.
Yes, that's his baby, and God, did he win in the gene pool too, huh?
Yeah, right.
Good-looking dude. Hey, if you're heading into Hartford right now, 84 eastbound, you got delays 44 Prospect Oakwood into the tunnel. Westbound 84 is tied up, approaching the Bulkley Bridge out to 47 Sigourney. 91 southbound delays 33 to 32, again 27 to 28. Northbound 91, easy ride Cromwell up into Windsor. 291, 384, moving well. If you're traveling 2 eastbound, heavy off of I-84 out to exit 3 in East Hartford. If you're traveling into Middletown, that looks good. We are still dealing with a crash 9 southbound in Berlin at exit 32. Car went off over the overpass there down the embankment. Right lane is blocked there. Delays are back to the 72 interchange in New Britain behind that. Now, if you're traveling westbound 84 into Hartford, you got delays approaching the bulk of the bridge of 47. And again, slows from 38 in Farmington down to exit 33 in Plainville. Also affecting 72 westbound, you're heavy approaching exit 2 to the 84 west merge in Plainville. If you're traveling on both sides of 691, heavy approaching exit 7 in Cheshire, 84 westbound in Waterbury, slowing 22 to the Mixmaster, 95 South New Haven, tight 46 down to 44. Traffic and weather together on the 8 WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Partly to at times mostly cloudy tonight, a low of 52 degrees, and mostly cloudy tomorrow, a few peaks of sun, a high of 73, so cooler than recent days, and will stay cloudy tomorrow night with a couple of showers in the area, and a low of 61. Turning out partly sunny on Thursday, pleasant and warmer Thursday afternoon, high 79. Mostly sunny on Friday, even warmer. Friday's high reaching 83. Right now it is 73 in West Hartford. It's 71 degrees at Bristol and 73 in Hartford. This is meteorologist Bob Larson of the WTIC Weather Center.
Have you noticed those ugly algae streaks that ruin a roof's look? Your insurance company will. Atlas Roofing with Scotchgard Protector from the Peter L. Brown Company stays beautiful and streak-free. For a free estimate, please visit peterlbrown.com.
Hi, this is Brian Kilmeade from Fox & Friends. Have you checked out my radio show, The Brian Kilmeade Show? Listen weekdays at 9 a.m. on News Talk 1080. We're talking about the issues that matter most to you. We're giving you the breaking news, talking to the newsmakers you want to hear from. Where does President Trump take the country? Where do the Democrats go from here? We are covering all this in great depth and so much more. The Brian Kilmeade Show, weekdays, 9 a.m. on News Talk 1080. Listen to your radio, smart speaker, or on the free Odyssey app.
ProHealth Physicians has proudly been keeping Connecticut healthy for nearly 25 years. ProHealth accepts Husky Medicaid, Medicare, TRICARE, and most major insurances. For trusted local care for your whole family, call 1-855-CT-MD-411 or visit ProHealthMD.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group. And I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney. And the truth is, I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney or if I look like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. At Wesley, we've helped over 40,000 families cancel their timeshare without me being an attorney. And I want to share with you how we do it. Just give my office a call, and you will not talk to an attorney. And I guarantee if we take you as a client, we'll get you out of your timeshare, or you'll pay nothing.
Call now for your free information kit. 800-714-9090. 800-714-9090. 800-714-9090.
You hear that? Of your business losing money. Legacy phone systems weren't built for today's teams. OpenPhone gives your business a smarter way to stay connected. OpenPhone lets you manage calls, texts, voicemail, and contacts all in one place so that you and your team can deliver a seamless customer experience from ring to... Need to take calls on the go? OpenPhone automatically transcribes, summarizes, and highlights next steps from every call, so you never miss a detail. Need insight into what closes a sale? With OpenPhone's AI call tags, you can instantly spot key topics like objections or pricing questions, and use those insights to coach your team and level up every customer interaction. And yes, you can bring your existing number with you for free. Keep your team in sync and your customers happy with OpenPhone. OpenPhone. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try OpenPhone for free at openphone.com/try and get 20%
Here we go.
6 months. That's openphone.com/try. Openphone.com/TRY.
It's Reese on the Radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
Am I really hearing what I think I'm hearing? This is absolutely funny. Let me see if I can find this. Let me see if I can fix this real quick. This is on CNN, and I think this is Cassie Hunt, who is on CNN after everybody has heard the text message, read the text message from Tyler Robinson. This was the exchange that just went on. Townhall.com just posted this.
What I am not happy about is that we have the shooter's words. We know what he put on the bullets. It's very, very clear what happened here. And there is a movement by some people to completely say, well, we have no idea.
Scott,
and we do.
Hold on. We have the floor. You can have the floor back.
But here's the thing. I had to really struggle to understand all of the details around those bullets. They are internet memes from video games.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is the act of desperation. So they're really trying to play like the dumbest thing in the world. I don't understand the bullet thing. Forget about what he said to the lover. Yeah, but the bullet thing, it's really hard for me to follow. It's laughable. It just is. It just is. It's funny. Anyway, I wanted to say about Robert Redford. I want to give him his just due. Died today, age 89. At 44 years old, he directed his first film. And that first film was, as you heard from John Silva, was the movie Ordinary People. It starred Donald Sutherland, Mary Tyler Moore, and Timothy Hutton. The cool thing about that and Robert Redford and his directorial debut in 1980 is that it not only won an Academy Award for Best Director for him, but also took home Oscars for the Best Picture and Best Supporting Actor for Timothy Hutton and the Best Adapted Screenplay. That was his first directing. So he is iconic, I mean, in so many ways as a Hollywood actor and somebody of Hollywood. So he will be missed, and I'm sure they're going to, they're going to honor him in ways you wouldn't even think. I heard that, what's his name? Sean Astin is now the president of the Screen Actors Guild, which is cool. I kind of like him. I don't really know anything about his politics or anything, but that's cool. 2 people have been presidents that I like. Maybe 3. Fran Dresser, I think, was a president of the Screen Actors Guild as well. But the other person that I like was Melissa Gilbert. She was kind of quiet, but I was kind of a fan of hers when I was a kid. But that's neither here nor there. What was the other thing? Oh, I need to get in there before we get out of here to talk about Democrats talking about their no longer capitalists, but now glomming onto socialism. That is official, which, by the way, way ahead of the curve. Go to my Substack at reasonoradio.com. Way ahead of the curve, I told you. Democrats have always been socialists. It's nothing new, but this article pretty much seals the deal. Let's get to the phones real quick. Mike is in Newington. How are you, sir?
Hey, how you doing, brother?
I'm all right, sir. What's up?
I was really hoping I was holding online to get some Greg Gutfeld.
Oh, I'm sorry, man. We already gave them away, man. I'm sorry.
That's okay. No, that's all right. But while I got you on the phone, I'm a big movie buff.
Okay.
Robert Redford, but I'll just tell you that I'm going to go, and I don't know if I've seen it before, but I was just looking up his history, and he was in a Twilight Zone.
That's right.
Yeah. In 1962, he played supposedly the personification of death.
Wow.
So he's knocking on a woman's door as a wounded police officer, and the woman supposedly has gambled with death many times in her life, and she figures now she figures the personification of death is going to come and take her away. So she's at her last hope, like, should I let this guy in my door? Well, I won't say it anymore to ruin it for you if you haven't seen it.
Okay, I haven't. I have not seen it.
Yeah, it's called Nothing in the Dark. So look it up.
Okay, I will definitely. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. Let's go to my good friend, White Mike, calling all the way from Florida. What's going on, sir?
Oh, man. So I haven't actually got to talk to you since the Charlie Kirk thing went down, I guess.
Yeah.
And, buddy, for years, we were told, those of us in Gen X were told, what's the harm? Just let the gays get married. Nothing bad can come of it. It'll be fine.
Right.
And now we're to the point that you got trainees in Utah pulling off a dog day afternoon situation. And
very much so.
Kirk because their tranny boyfriend's upset about something. I don't get it, dude. We've kind of encouraged mental illness among those people at least since the 90s. And I don't get where we've benefited society at all with it.
You know what? I think what it was. I think a huge part of it was, I got to find that audio because I always talk about it, but I never bother to gather it. There was this exchange that Jordan Peterson was having with someone. I can't remember who it was. It wasn't Joe Rogan, but it was someone else. And he was talking about this behavior that be it the right or the left or the sane or the insane, whatever the case may be. But the argument of tolerance is that one side keeps getting pushed upon, right? And you keep, like, you define one line, you draw that line, and you say, that's it, I'm never going to allow you to cross that line. And then people start persuading you to sort of give a little bit of the inch. And he said, before you know it, generations go by, maybe even one, and you start to realize you're 3 or 4 feet behind where you originally drew the line. And the only person who's been made to change here is you, that your line keeps decreasing.
There's that congressman, that state rep out in California, Scott Wiener. You know who he is?
He sounds familiar, yeah.
Scott Wiener is an openly homosexual weirdo who, in his time in the California Congress, has pushed legislation through that lowered the age of consent for gay sex.
I do remember that.
And he also passed legislation that decriminalized the intentional spreading of HIV. That's what you get when you start normalizing this degeneracy.
So
everybody has this sanitized version of homosexuals because they watch Modern Family or whatever. Or some girls have a gay friend. Nobody understands how absolutely perverted and degenerate these people are until they get to their 70s, basically.
Well, I would say, and that's the part that always bothers me, is that, and I've said this before. I had a conversation with my stepdaughter about this. And she said, when we were having these conversations over and over again, the thing that bothered her the most, being a part of the LGBTQ community, she always said to me was, there is so much going on that she can't respond to. So my question to her was, what do you mean you can't respond to it? She goes, because the rest of us who are only talking about our own personal lifestyles is completely run over by this activist class that want to permit the most insane of behavior. That, they watch these pride parades that happen in Memphis, Tennessee, which, by the way, blew my mind the first time I ever passed by one, where they see this behavior where they have grown men walking around completely naked. And she's like, we can't, like the rest of us who were saying that's not us, we can't push behind it. And they get to pretty much drive the narrative of who we are, and we can say nothing. And I'm like, well, that's not a reason to sit out.
It may not be the lesbians who are the problem, because women by nature are not necessarily promiscuous. It's the gay dudes. Gay dudes are out of control because their lifestyle lets them do whatever they want on freaking demand. You don't have Grindr. They have Grindr.
Right.
They can hook up in a split second.
Yeah,
somebody who's 50 feet away from them.
That's a good point, because, every person who is kind of been in a situation where they can speak freely, every time you ask them about the culture, the big complaint they have is the hookup culture, and they always blame Grindr. They just automatically, they always do.
Only the ugly ones bitch about that, dude.
I gotta go. Let me take Stephen Windsor. Hello, Stephen.
Hi. The calls about the mental disabled and the lesbians and everything else. A lot of these issues go back to Ronald Reagan, where they all started, and they just passed through each administration thereafter, Democrat or Republican. The reason I called is, the Trump administration is making statements. I forget the individuals making the statements, but they're making statements how the tariffs have brought back at least $1 trillion into the U.S. coffers, the Treasury Department. And when does the Treasury Department, the Federal Reserve, acknowledge our debt's gone down? Where's this $1 trillion sitting? Where is it? Whose bank account is it in? When does the Federal Reserve acknowledge our national debt's gone down by $1 trillion? They haven't done that yet.
No, and that is primarily because of the politicking by Jerome Powell. And, my wife was asking me about this.
No, that's not true. That's not true. And I'm a big Trump supporter. That's not true.
No. Wait. You're saying that Jerome Powell is not holding up our interest rates?
No, I'm talking about why is our actual dollar amount of the national debt still reflecting?
Well, I have no idea. I thought you were saying something broader than that with the Federal Reserve.
No. And I'm glad the Federal Reserve. I agreed the Federal Reserve, and John Kennedy was probably one of the first presidents that said he wanted to get rid of the Federal Reserve.
Sure.
All right, he wanted to only print dollars that supported our monetary needs based on a budget that was passed by the House and Senate.
Many people believe that was why he was killed.
Well, it's a possibility, but the fact is that Democrats won't take ownership of that issue anymore and brag about it, if you noticed.
Yeah.
Today, but the fact is, we need to know as American citizens, because the tariffs has really raised prices on us, the consumer. And I'm a big Trump supporter since 2016. But the fact is, it is costing a bit more out there, except for gasoline.
Right.
So what? But the food prices have gone up.
We have to.
This,
what would you say to the idea, Stephen, that we may have to wait until the beginning of next year to see that change? Would that be
no, you keep kicking the bucket down.
No, I'm not. No, and you're 100% right. But I'm saying that having known that. But let's say it's after January that we actually see those changes. Would that be a deal breaker for the Trump administration?
Well, I don't know what the deal breaker is going to be for the Trump administration.
Okay.
I'm disappointed. I hope Trump serves out his term, and the reason being, I don't want to see Vance in the White House.
Yes, I know you're not a fan. I know you're not a fan.
No, but the fact is, he's really the only reason he got selected, in my opinion, is because he does what he's told. Okay. And like Pence did at the very beginning, okay?
What was now? Can you answer? Wait a minute. Answer something for me with a minute left. You're saying he does what he's told. What's the role of the vice president? Should he be rogue at some point?
Well, he's got to build his own stature and his own character to some degree, but he hasn't done that yet.
But okay, I'm just wondering, how do you, like, as a vice president? You said that he does what he's told, which only begs the question, what do you... No, I'm just saying. It begs the question that the vice president's role is to serve as an understudy of the president's policies. He makes them. He is in charge. So what do you mean that when you say that he's under his control or he's doing what he's told? I don't follow.
But he still has to form himself as a individual.
Yes, he's done. He gets that opportunity by the tasks that he is given by the President of the United States. And in pursuing those tasks and in completing them, therefore he forges his own future.
But right now, we're faced with a situation, Trump, as much as I like the guy, I don't like how he does things, but I like some of the results more so than the other side.
I would say like this, Stephen, I would go so...
Let me finish, please.
Yeah, real quick.
Epstein is going to come back and haunt them.
Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard that 5 times so far.
But I have something to offer as an alternative for his hand problems. I have the same problem with my hands and the bruises, okay? And it looks more severe than mine. You heard about that, right?
Yeah, I just don't think it's important, but what's the...
No, I think what he should do, if he wants to really melt it down and get rid of it, he should start wearing a white glove like Michael Jackson.
It's a start. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate you. Maybe not a white glove. In that case, you got to put sequins on it. Let's get another check of weather and traffic with Bob Larson and Mark Christopher in the PBS Traffic Center. A white glove? Who would have brought that back? I don't know.
Only Michael.
Only Michael,
this
exactly.
traffic report being brought to you by Columbia Implant Center in Manchester. If you're heading 9 southbound, we got that accident in Berlin at exit 32. A car went over the right side down the embankment there. So right lane block 9 southbound at 32, delays back to the 72 interchange behind that. Northbound Route 9 slowing 31 up to 32 in Berlin, rubbernecking at the southbound crash. Westbound 84 tied up 44 Prospect Oakwood to the Bulkley. Westbound 84 is running slow, approaching just after 56 Governor Street in East Hartford out to 47 Sigourney. Again, stop-and-go traffic 38 down to exit 33 in Plainville. Southbound 91 delays 36 to 35 in Windsor. Again, slowing 33 down to 32 A and B, and again slows from 27 down to 28 Hartford Weathersfield line. Northbound 91's okay, Cromwell up into Windsor. 291 eastbound's a little tight. I-91 over to the Bissell Bridge. 2 eastbound slowing off of I-84 out to exit 3 in East Hartford. And if you're traveling into Cheshire, both sides of 691 slowing by exit 7. 84 eastbound in Cheshire slows 26 down to the 691 interchange. Westbound 84 slows 22 to the Mixmaster in Waterbury. Stuck in traffic? Again, don't waste another minute. Columbia Implant Center in Manchester gets you in and out fast, often in just one day. Open 7 days a week. Get your smile back now. Columbia Implant Center, ColumbiaImplantCenter.com. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Mixer clouds and sunshine the rest of this afternoon with a high of 79. Partly to mostly cloudy tonight, low 52. Then plenty of clouds tomorrow. A little cooler with the cloud cover, high 73. Clouds and a couple of showers tomorrow night, low 61. Turning out partly sunny on Thursday, pleasant Thursday afternoon, and warmer once again with a high of 79. And it looks to be even warmer on Friday. I'm Bob Larson of the WTIC Weather Center.
And now, a WTIC news update.
5:30, good afternoon. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. The 22-year-old Utah man charged with capital murder in the assassination of Charlie Kirk appeared briefly today before a judge by video from jail. Tyler Robinson at times nodded slightly but mostly stared straight ahead as the judge read the charges against him and appointed an attorney to represent him. Earlier in the day, the Utah County attorney said he will seek the death penalty in this case. Homicide investigation underway in the city of Waterbury. Police say a man was found shot on Charles Street around 8 Monday night. He was pronounced dead at the scene. No word yet on the suspect or motive. FBI Director Kash Patel clashed with Democrats at a Senate oversight hearing today, defending his record amid criticism that he has politicized the nation's premier federal law enforcement agency. New York State judge has dismissed the terrorism charges against Luigi Mangione in the state's case over the killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson last December. However, the judge did keep the state's second-degree murder charges against the Ivy League grad. Connecticut's Chief Justice Raheem Mullins says ICE agents cannot wear masks and must have a warrant for immigration-related arrests after some detentions of people showing up or leaving court. Republican State Senate Leader Steve Harding claims Democrats want to keep criminals on the street. And Robert Redford has died. The Hollywood icon was 89 in a career spanning more than 60 years. Redford starred in a slew of hit movies, directed others, including an Academy Award-winning turn as director of the family drama Ordinary People in 1980. On Wall Street, the Dow finished down 125 points today. The Nasdaq lost 14 and the S&P was down 8. A's and the Red Sox on TIC tonight right after the 6 o'clock news. The Yanks are in Minnesota to face the Twins, and the Mets open a series at home against the Padres. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Hi, I'm Tom Connors. Went to Mark Patrick's hypnosis seminar February 6, 2019. Nothing worked before. Left there and never smoked again. Amazing. Easy, affordable, and guaranteed. A year later, with my wife Michelle, attended Mark Patrick's weight loss seminar. She lost 18 pounds and I lost 43 in 8 weeks.
It's true. He smoked 2 packs a day and nothing worked until Mark Patrick hypnosis. Now we're losing weight together, eating healthy, full on half the food, crazy, enjoying exercise. Who would have believed Mark Patrick hypnosis really works?
It's amazing. I can breathe again. My blood pressure went down, and I've got so much energy.
So much energy.
And look great.
Join Mark Patrick Seminar's early bird special, only $49.99. Hypnosis designed to destroy unwanted cravings. That's right. Seminars Thursday, September 18th, Hilton Garden in Hartford North, Bradley International Airport in Windsor. Weight loss seminar 5:30. Stop smoking seminar 8 p.m. Or Saturday, September 20th, Holiday Inn Express, Southington. Weight loss seminar 11 a.m. Stop smoking seminar 2 p.m. Register markpatrickseminars.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody. Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install a Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's .com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
The Odyssey app lets you jump back to the moments you missed from WTIC News Talk 1080. Download the free Odyssey app, search WTIC News Talk 1080, and tap earlier today to get started.
We're back. Reese on the radio, News Talk 1080. This is what had happened was, and I played this bit earlier in the show to show you how many people have left the left because of the assassination of Charlie Kirk. And Elizabeth Vargas, formerly of ABC's 2020 and now on News Nation, talked about two young men she spoke to after Charlie Kirk's assassination.
So I was talking to two young men this weekend. One is a registered Democrat. The other is what he would call an independent or moderate Republican. Neither one of them agreed with very much of what Charlie Kirk said, but they had watched Kirk's videos on campuses for years as Kirk debated students and anyone else who wanted to stand in line for the chance to prove me wrong, as Charlie Kirk put it, and they respected that. They admired his willingness to debate and Kirk's skill at it, even when they didn't always agree with his positions. Now, one of those young men voted for Kamala Harris in the last election. The other did not. But both of them separately told me this weekend they will never vote for a Democrat again. Both said their social media feeds were filled with far-left agitators celebrating Kirk's assassination or saying he somehow deserved to be killed because of the provocative and perhaps even offensive things that Kirk said. These young men know that the Democratic Party leaders have all publicly condemned the killing. They know that these far-left agitators do not represent the Democratic Party writ large. But they found these videos and these posts cheering on a murder so disturbing, so reprehensible, it has turned them off of the Democratic Party altogether. They are not the only ones who feel this way or who are horrified at people making light of murder. People are now losing their jobs for posting such things. Liberals are turning on other liberals who are publicly expressing sympathy for Kirk.
So earlier today, I was trying to express that if you sit back, and this is to the outrage mob, sit back. The wheels are spinning. There's nothing you can do about it. These folks have made their bed. They've made their decision. They're not trying to gain following or, get people on their side. They're not trying to influence anyone. That's not what leftists do. It's not what liberals do, Tim. You don't persuade. You don't win hearts and minds. You argue. You hate. You admonish. You have no interest in conversation. None. And you will lose more and more people because of it. And what you'll do is when they've had enough of you, you'll just do the same thing. You'll admonish them and make them run even further. That's okay. We'll be happy to have them. Let's get another check of weather and traffic, and then we'll wrap this puppy up with your phone calls. Here's Mark Christopher. He's in the BPS Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
All right, Reese, thank you very much. Well, if you're on the eastbound side of 84 coming into Hartford, delays from exit 44 Prospect Oakwood into the tunnel. Westbound 84 slows just after 56 Governor Street out to 47 Sigourney. 91 southbound, look for delays 33 to 32. Again, some slow traffic as you move down by exit 28 on the Hartford-Weathersfield line. Easy ride 91 northbound Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor. 291 eastbound's a little slow coming off of I-91 over to the Bissell. 2 eastbound's a little slow by exit 3 in East Hartford. Heading 9 southbound.
Hey, Tim, it don't hurt my feelings for you to say F you in my chat room. It doesn't hurt me for you to be screaming and hollering and cursing on the chat room and trying to get a rise out of me. Nothing doesn't hurt me. It doesn't hurt my brand. I don't get bent out of shape, dude. Like, you don't really think that your point of view actually means anything, like deep down inside? Like, you don't wake up every morning and pat yourself on the back about how important you are and how important you are to this show. You don't think that it survives based upon you showing up or not, do you? Because you don't. You don't matter. Not in this way. Not in any way. And especially not when you talk to people the way that you do when you don't get your way, when you have to cry about everything. Nobody cares about that, dude. Nobody's spending a whole bunch of time up at night worrying about whether or not you like them. The reason why you're here is because you're in love with this show. And I get it. You're always going to be in love with this show.
Sunny, even warmer on Friday. Friday's high reaching 83. Right now it is 73 in Torrington. It's 71 degrees in Plymouth and 73 in Hartford. I'm meteorologist Bob Larson of the WTIC Weather Center.
Up next at Fenway, Brent Rooker and the Oakland A's come to Boston. We're in the home stretch of the regular season, and the Red Sox are playing for the postseason. So don't miss 1 minute of the action. It's the Red Sox and Athletics. We'll join the pregame tonight at 6:05 on your home for the Boston Red Sox. WTIC News Talk 1080.
Protect your liver and give it the support it deserves by making Active Liver from New Nordic a part of your daily wellness routine. Find Active Liver in stores at your local CVS, Meijer Grocery, ShopRite, or online at Amazon or at newnordicusa.com.
At Columbia Dental, we love to make kids smile. Our expert pediatric dentists specialize in children's dental care, making every visit fun and comfortable. Open 7 days a week. Call 860-645-0111 or visit columbiadental.com.
Hey, how'd you get your water heater fixed so fast?
Ayala Home Services, same-day plumbing. I gave them a call, and they had a plumber on their way. They even sent the plumber's real-time location, so I knew when they would be here.
Did you say same day? That's crazy.
If you need same-day plumbing, call, click, or text today and say, hello, Ayala. Call for details. Licensed for safety. HIC 628926. P10277688. S104134487. D1040145. S3308699. SM3004646. E1185643.
How many times did your old rickety heating system not fire up last year? Say, come on into Campbell. Campbell Heating and Cooling is Central Connecticut's leader when it comes to competitive pricing on a new boiler, heat pump, or furnace. Don't despair when your old clunking furnace just can't be repaired. Replace with an affordable, custom-designed heating system from Campbell. Contact Campbell today at campbellcooling.com. That's campbellcooling.com.
Campbell Cooling uses all major name brands, including American Standard and Mitsubishi heating and cooling equipment. Let our expert technicians heat your home this fall.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/fax or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
What's up, everybody?
You
know who it is. It's Reese on the Radio. Frederick Douglass of the 21st century.
It's WTIC News Talk 1080.
All right, we're about to get up out of here. Another Tuesday in the books. We don't have any interviews planned this week. I might have an interview. In fact, you know what? I'm going to contact the Connecticut Sentinel today. There is an interview that I might want. But I'll reach out to them today and see if we can get it for tomorrow. Roland. I was thinking about something. I was going to do this Democrat and socialism thing, but you know what? I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it as the opening monologue because now the phones are the phones have been here for a bit. So but let me get to, I think it's only appropriate. Tim, what's going on, sir? You're having a heart attack in the chat room. What's your problem today?
No, I only call your show after I've been mentioned by you or your callers or something.
I mentioned you a long time ago. In fact, it was about 2 hours ago. But since you're here, tell me what you're responding to.
Mentioned me again. But anyway, did you and Joe from Simsbury mention last week that you wanted transgendered people rounded up and put in either a psychiatric hospitals or, I don't know, jails, something to that effect, round up.
Were you listening to the program, or did somebody tell you they heard
Can you
this?
answer the question?
I'm asking
Yes,
you.
I was
No,
listening.
sir. With all due respect, my daddy's dead. So don't tell me what I should do. I'm responding to you.
Can you
So make
answer
sure
the
we
question?
hold on. Make sure we understand each other. Because when you're asking me something, you're asking me, did you say? And you are putting me in a position where you're saying what I said, asking me, did I say it? So when I ask you that, it is for context. Did you hear me say that, or did someone tell you I said that?
I heard you say that.
Oh, so then you should be able to. And here's the interesting part, which again goes to
Can
lazy.
you deny it or
Hey,
not?
hey, Tim, don't interrupt me. Which goes to laziness, because you are a friend of mine on Facebook.
Oh, stop.
May I
That's
finish, please?
laziness.
Don't get, well, let me
You
explain.
won't answer
Can
the
I
question
explain
about
the
rounding up
laziness?
people
Can I
like a-
explain the
like a
laziness?
Nazi.
Can I explain the laziness? I'll explain the laziness. My show sits several places, unedited. It sits on my Facebook page, sits on 2 Facebook pages, sits on my Twitch page, sits on my X page, unedited.
So you don't want to debate the
I'm
idea
I'm
of
not
rounding up
I am
people.
not done yet, Tim. And it sits in all of those places where you don't have to call me and say, "Did you say?" You can guarantee that I said it by going
I'm
back and
trying
listening
say
to
that,
yourself.
To the
So why
audience
don't you just
that
go,
comes in and out.
because I understand how this works, Tim, and I understand liberals better than I understand my Social Security number.
You don't understand.
Well, let me explain to you what let me
Can you
let me
say
explain.
that?
No, I didn't say it. Let me explain to you what I said, so I can explain to you exactly what you just did. You see, you start off by accusing me of something in a question. Did you say that they need to be put in mental institutions? Well, first of all, I don't even have that view. And I've been here long enough for you to estimate that I don't have that view. Now, either you're stupid, you're ignorant, or you're trying to get me in some way in some sort of trouble or hooked up into some trap that you've got set to. You could say, well, look at Reese on the radio demanding that transgenders be put in mental institutions. I don't have a view on their mental state. You want to know why, Tim? Because it is categorically true that I don't start talking about people in a mental place. I don't know who's crazy. I don't know who isn't. I don't make that determination. That's not my style. Never has been, and I've got a reputation to back it up. You, on the other hand,
Back up people but you back
No.
up people like Charlie Kirk when
See,
they
this
say
is
that
what.
gays should be stoned to death.
Okay, good. Let's get
Okay.
there. Let's get there. We're here. Let's go there. Okay, so Charlie Kirk said that gays should be what? Say it.
Stoned to death.
Did he say that?
Yes.
What's the exact quote, Tim?
I just actually saw again that
Tim,
according to the Bible,
what is the
gays should
exact
be
quote?
Stoned to death.
He said, Charlie Kirk says
Do
he.
your homework.
I did. Charlie Kirk said that gays should be stoned to death. That's what he said, in his view?
Yes.
When did he
Yes.
say it? What school? And where can I find the video? Can you send me the text right now?
It's on his Facebook page. I mean, it's not his Facebook. You know, the page that he does for his show.
Okay,
It's
fine.
from his show.
Okay, all right, no. All right, hold on. What, no, we'll have the opportunity tomorrow to either make that a fact or it isn't. But let me ask you this. So
You'll
he
never
said,
play
let
it.
me
You're too
finish.
chicken.
Of course
You're
I will
too
play
chicken
it.
to do it,
Of
'cause
course
you're
I will
such a
play it.
quitter.
Tim, of
You
course.
won't do it.
Tim, of course I'll play it. Now, let me ask you a question. Why is he hanging up? No, get him back. I don't want him. No, get back on the phone. Do not run away from this conversation. Because you know for a fact that I'll find the audio and find out that he didn't say it. So if you ran, chicken, here's the problem. And he knew the question was coming. That's why he ran as fast as he could. So what? And this is the part that no one can seem to understand. He is afraid to answer the obvious question. So what?
Steve says you're an idiot that has to go.
Say again?
Steven that you just talked to, you just called back, said you're an idiot and you have to go.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. Is Steven serious? Is he, like, are these people?
That's what he said.
Are these people serious? Like, why? Look, I got to do this just because. Okay, this is from Snopes. Thank you, Lori, who is, and again, I applaud her every day. She is the official fact check and research department of Reese on the Radio. From Snopes. Fact check. Charlie Kirk didn't say gay people should be stoned to death. Claim. Turning Point USA CEO and co-founder Charlie Kirk said gay people should be stoned to death. Rating. False. Context. Kirk was reacting to YouTube personality Miss Rachel quoting the Bible to explain why she supported Pride Month. Kirk referred to another verse from the Bible about stoning people to death to demonstrate that Miss Rachel was being selective in her quotations. On September 10th, of course, we know that he was killed. So again, he never said it, and Tim said, buddy, but please, this is the reason why you gotta stop lying. You just gotta stop lying. And you know that I'm not going to be able to play the clip because he never said it. Okay? Just take a break. Seriously, just take a break, a breather for a little while. And talking about what Charlie Kirk should have said or may have said or didn't say or whatever it was that he did say, you got to come back to the basics. So what? So what he said it. Charlie Kirk could have been screaming the N-word for all I care. He could have said that I hated blacks. He could have said that I hated Puerto Ricans. I don't care. I don't. But there's a reason why you do. Because as I said in the beginning of the show, people's words affect you in a point that you are rageful. And I don't get why you won't recognize that. You make it about Charlie Kirk, but not about yourself. And that's where this needs to be. And I'm saying this to everybody now. This is not just a Tim thing. This is everybody. You have got to think about how you react to the things that you hear. When you start getting to the point where you got to call up the show to the producer and you go, tell Reese that he's an idiot. What's wrong with you? I'm Reese on the Radio. That's it. It's simple and plain. You enjoy the show? Do you have a good time? Do you like listening to it? Do you like the topics I bring up? Do you like the engagement I have with the listeners? Do you like the sound bites, the humor? Just do that. But when you get to the point where you're just like enraged about things that you hear, that has nothing to do with me. That has everything to do with control. And that's what that is. Control. Your control. Self-control and the control of others. And why do you need control? This is something I never, ever talk about. And in fact, I tread lightly when I talk about it. But I had to learn this. So forgive me if I'm a little preachy. I had to learn this in sobriety. One of my biggest problems in life was that only thing I wanted to do was control everything. And with that, when I couldn't control it, things got haywire. I realized what my control was about, and it's about fear. It's always about fear. If you are in fear, you will try to control everything so that you are not harmed, be it your ego, be it your heart, be it your pocket. You are trying not to be harmed, so you try to control everything. And on this show, and be it Charlie Kirk or anything else for that matter, you are fearful. Maybe you're fearful that other people may hear his message. Maybe you're fearful that other people might think like him, and therefore they won't think more like you. That is a control issue. But again, you're not interested in winning hearts and minds. You don't want to have a conversation. You don't want to persuade me. Stephen doesn't want to persuade me. He wants to call me names. He wants to be angry at me because I won't conform, because I won't do it his way. That's control. And when you don't have it, you do things. And they are usually harmful to you. They may be harmful to others, but in the end, it is always harmful to you. The thing that you fail to realize, which I had to learn in sobriety, is that while I was trying to make everyone else in the world change, I refused to deal with the thing that I could control. Me. I could change. May I recite the Serenity Prayer? God, grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. That is how I get serenity. Perhaps you should think about that. The first couple of months of my sobriety, every time something went wrong, I would go over into a corner and I would pray the serenity prayer. That was how I got a hold of my faculties. I had to stop and say that prayer. I had to self-realize that I can change the things that I can, and the rest was up to God. So don't call here screaming and hollering and getting angry at me because I won't do what you need. You can always not listen, Stephen. And Tim, the same for you. But I think the reason why you stay is because it's an addiction. Perhaps they should develop an AA for Reese on the Radio. I don't know. Reese Anonymous. I don't know. But it's you. It's always you. I had to learn that about me. That the biggest problem I have in this world is myself. It ain't anybody else. Nobody else is responsible. You've got to get there. It may be difficult and you may be stubborn. But you know, in AA, you know what we say? When I really understood the program, when I understood where I was, you know what the first thing I said? I said, damn, they need to have an AA for every facet of life. Everybody needs an AA program, even if you're not an alcoholic. You need that just so you can. Everybody needs a 12-step program. It'll help you navigate through this life. So I know a lot of you here who listen to the program try to figure out, it's like, how does he do it? Like, how does he just stay even keel? How do I tell people, take a minute? I don't panic. I chill. The serenity prayer helps me every day. It has for 6 years. The only thing that I feel bad about is that I didn't learn it sooner. I hope that you will take that gift from me today. As I always say, radio is free, so we thank you for paying attention. Remember to keep JC in your hearts and in your minds. Sean Patrick, we love you and we miss you. Remember that panic is not planning, so plan your work. I'm Reese on the Radio. You have a good night, a pleasant tomorrow. I know we're going to get into traffic in a minute, and I know I have time before we get him here. But on tomorrow's program, we'll get into this poll about capitalism and socialism. And, of course, we'll talk about more details that have to deal with Tyler Robinson as they are coming out. And, of course, we'll have audio sound bites from the Senate hearing with Kash Patel, anything that's worth listening to. So stay tuned. If you want to reach out to Reese on the Radio, and I really do offer that, go to reeseontheradio.com. That's REESE on the radio.com. I don't talk about my sobriety a lot because they say it's about attraction, not promotion. But I think some people need to hear that message now and again. Let's get to John Silva and Mark Christopher. He's in the BPS Traffic Center. Good night, sir. See you mañana.
Thank you to Bill W.
Yeah, Bill W., my friend.
Bill W. Have a great night, Reese.
Thank you,
Heading into Hartford right now. South 91 delays 33 down to 32 A and B.
All right, sir.
Thank you, man. I will see you mañana.
Hump day.
Involving a tractor trailer.
I got to get used to that.
And left. So stay to the right. Just a little bit of a delay going by there. Northbound 91 moving well. Cromwell up into Winter. Westbound 84.
Whew. Anyway, thank you, Michael A. I appreciate that. Michael B., thank you. Thank you, Liz. I appreciate you. That's very kind of you. Thank you, Lori. I love you guys. Yeah, we'll see you all tomorrow. I'm going to try to grab some new audio bites that just came through, and we'll have them tomorrow. I hope I didn't lose you there at the end for all of you. And Tim, I mean it, man. I do mean it. I really do hope that you get the help that you need. Really do. The anger is not good for you, my friend. Nor is the lying. So work on it. We all need some. All right. Be good to each other.